are two outstanding clubs that are playing their best. Oklahoma Baptist obliterating Ouachita with a furious record-setting performance on Wednesday night, won for the 14th time in their last 15 games, while the Mule Riders come in winners of 6 of their last 7, including 4 straight.
Yeah, Oklahoma Baptist shooting lights out from beyond the arc and from the two-point range area. And Jaquan Sims when he gets hot, and then it's just almost contagious everybody else. Oklahoma Baptist is so deep that it just really helps them. But here the Mule Riders, a lot of concern. They've got the inside-outside game. Erin Lucas is going to drive to the basket, and if he doesn't have what he wants, he's going to kick it out to three-point shooters.
The Stars are certainly on display here tonight in Shawnee. There's 4 first-team all-conference performers on the floor tonight. 3 of those are unanimous all-league selections and a second-team all-league selection in Harrison Stoddard. Also among those is Erin Lucas, the aforementioned senior guard, who was named for the first time ever as far as a male athlete is concerned, the Defensive Player of the Year and the Men's Overall Player of the Year in the same calendar season. Southern Arkansas, their calling card is defense. They come in allowing 66 points a ball game. That ranks them 16th in Division II. And since 1995-96, when the Division II era started in Magnolia, this is the second best statistical defense that the Mule Riders have put out on the floor. And they will face an offense at Oklahoma Baptist that is scorching the nets from three-point range.
And then Southern Arkansas, they got the Brooks brothers, Devontae and Jalen Brooks, averaging 9.2 rebounds and 8.4 rebounds per game. So that's just a big key of keeping Southern Arkansas off the boards for second chance opportunities. If Oklahoma Baptist can do that, things should look pretty good in the Noble Complex.
Offensive rebounding, Southern Arkansas easily the best of the Great American Conference at 13 offensive retrievals per ball game. OBU is 7th at just under 10 offensive boards per contest. This year, Southern Arkansas on 6 different occasions have had games of 15 or more offensive rebounds with a season-high 18 against Henderson State during conference play in the regular season. Rebounds have been key as well, a barometer for Oklahoma Baptist. The Bison have out-rebounded their opponents 15 of 16 times this year. In that time, they are 15-1. They're 0-3 are the Bison when the boards are even or the opponents out-rebound Oklahoma Baptist. And here's what Southern Arkansas's defense will contend with tonight. An OBU team that has made 66 shots from beyond the three-point arc in the last 7 games. The Bison have made 10 or more threes in 6 of the last 7. They're shooting 47% from the field during that stretch. That's second in the GAC, and 51% over the last 4 games in which they've had 50% better or shooting from three-point range. So 2 teams that do it differently but are very, very good at what they do going to collide tonight. Get the popcorn, get you a soda pop, and get set for some great basketball tonight as the East Co-Champion Division Southern Arkansas Mule Riders is in town to take on Western Division champion Oklahoma Baptist. That sets the stage. When we return, we'll hear from Bison head coach Jason Aker. That's coming up next as our pregame show continues on the OBU Basketball Network. Back at the Noble Complex, Todd Miller along with Bison men's basketball coach Jason Aker as we get ready for tip-off tonight. It's the Great American Conference men's semifinal matchup between the Mule Riders of Southern Arkansas and the Western Division champion Bison of Oklahoma Baptist. OBU coming off a very impressive victory, a record-setting performance, coach, against Ouachita Baptist here 48 hours earlier. And it's a good thing you guys came out and matched their intensity from the opening tip, because they did throw a good right cross to you for the opening tap.
They hit us right in the mouth. But what we kept talking about in the timeouts, I think we were down 8-4, 12-6, is we were playing the right way. I think they missed their first 4 two-point shots, but they made their first 4 threes. And out of those first 4 threes, 3 of them were contested. We left someone in the corner. And so we just kept encouraging our guys, hey, you're playing the right way. We expected a tough game, and so we just hung in there. I echo your thoughts. I forget when you said them, if it was today or yesterday, but I felt like Jaquan's first half stabilized us. For us to get to halftime up 12, it felt good in the moment, but once we came out, that lead evaporated really quick.
Jaquan Sims, if he can continue to play the way he played on Thursday night, this is going to be a really difficult team to defend, because it was obvious that Ouachita's first and second priority to slow down was Brantley Thompson and Jarius Hicklin.
Well, I don't know if that was their priority or not. The thing that I love about our team, all 3 years we've been here, and it's definitely true again this year, is you don't know where OBU is going to hit you from. We have 5, 6 guys that could get 15-plus points. Jarius comes off the bench. Justin, 10A, gave us great minutes. We have a balanced team. Sometimes that plays itself out to our detriment, maybe when you're looking at awards or you're looking at honors or you're looking at a star player for OBU. I feel like we have stars, but I feel like with the way our guys play, the stars, the team, they obviously were going the 2-2-1 back to zone some, so that only encouraged us to move the ball even more. And so we moved it. We had great assists. We hit some tough shots. Tonight will be a completely different game.
Justin Tin, you made mention of him, and I want to talk about him. You stretched him out as much as you have in most games this season, and I made the comment on the broadcast on Wednesday night that this kid has just taken leaps and bounds in his development here in less than a full year. It paid off on Thursday or Wednesday night. It's going to have to probably pay off again here tonight.
I don't know how many skills, life skills or just skills, whether it's mowing the yard or fixing things. I can't really do anything as a man that Meredith would want me to do, but one of the skills that I do possess, one of the few skills, is that I feel like I have a good pulse on kids, and as soon as we put him out there, there was a play that didn't go his way. He busted a play on defense, but I just felt I had a good vibe about his competitiveness and the way his body was moving, and then most importantly, the matchups and his confidence. And so we can't just leave Harrison and Nigel out there with how intense and how athletic and how fierce these games are. And so his minutes, I don't know what his stats were, but they were very important to the win, Todd.
I'll tell you this, I also thought maybe the most impressive stat of the entire evening, Coach, was the fact you had 27 assists. That is a conference postseason tournament record, but it also goes to show you how just unselfish this basketball team is and continues to be.
I agree with all that you just said, like normal. But the game kind of gave us that. They were doing the soft press back to zone. We also hit some contested shots when they were in man. And so it kind of fed itself. When you play a Southern Arc, when you play a Southern Nazarene, those type of games, they're going to stay at home more. And so you're going to have to score more individually. And so we won't have near the assists tonight. But the one thing that I will guarantee is that we'll have the same heartbeat, we'll have the same unselfishness, and it's neat that it manifested itself in the assist column because it is a reflection of our team.
Very few teams in this conference can match what you're going to face tonight from Southern Arkansas. They have a great inside-outside presence with the Conference Player of the Year / Defender of the Year in Erin Lucas. And then, of course, they've got Devontae Brooks and his brother Jalen that play very well inside.
Well, from word go, not only do they have a physical team and a rebounding team and an athletic team and a well-coached team, which we saw last year at their place and here, but they've added a few more dynamic scores. And so they returned all their studs. They returned their stud assistant coach and head coach, but then they added some really quality pieces around them. They can make you pay from a lot of different ways. And so the first price of admission in tonight is the glass and just a confidence and a swagger that our kids need to have and our guys will have.
And cutting down penetration, I would think, from Lucas getting into the paint.
Well, I'm not going to share this with our team, but since they won't hear this before the game, we're not going to cut down on all the penetration. He's going to penetrate. We need to try to limit that, but we're going to be aggressive on defense. We're going to be up in him. He's going to drive it. He's going to go around us. I actually talked with Rashad Lewis today. Him and Lucas are very similar type players, and Rashad guarded him a lot at our place last year. And so we talked back and forth about the different matchups. And so the conclusion we've come to is that he's a stud. You can't let him have 20 points and 10 assists, similar to like Adam Dworsky at SNU. If he has 30 points and 1 assist, we can still win. If he has 20 points, 10 assists, 5 steals, and he's bobbing around and getting our guys to lose confidence and leading the game and feeling good, then it'll be a long night for us. And so him scoring, we don't want anybody to score, but him scoring alone won't beat us.
OBU third-year head coach Jason Aker, 2-2 in his career on the sidelines against Southern Arkansas. More Bison basketball coming up in a moment on the OBU Radio Network. Complex in Shawnee on the Bison Radio Network, brought to you in part by our cornerstone sponsors, Sin Relief and Noble McIntyre of McIntyre Law, and a big thank you on behalf of Bison basketball to the OBU College of Graduate Studies and Emmanuel Baptist Church for coming aboard to help support Bison postseason broadcasts. More coming up from Shawnee in just a moment. This is the Bison Radio Network. Time now for a look at tonight's starting lineups. First of all, for the Mule Riders of Southern Arkansas, they'll start Chris Wash, a 6'4 junior from Elgin, Texas, and a transfer from nearby Seminole State Junior College. Erin Lucas, the Defender of the Year and the Conference Player of the Year, a 5'9 senior from Tulsa and Booker T. Washington, starts at a guard. Blake Rogers is a 6'1 junior from Starkville, Mississippi. Jalen Brooks, a 6'5 junior from Shreveport, Louisiana, and Devontae Brooks, a 6'6 senior from Shreveport, Louisiana, completes the starting lineup. Andy Sharp, at his 9th season at Magnolia, 128 and 118. He's number 3 all-time in wins at the helm of the Mule Rider program. These two played twice last year, each win to their home floor in Magnolia. Southern Arkansas beat OBU 77-60. OBU got the better of the Mule Riders by 6 in the final game of the regular season, 69-63 here at the Noble. OBU will start Jaquan Sims, Nigel Wilcox, Brantley Thompson, Harrison Stoddard, and Trey Green. Jason Aker has won 66% of his games on Bison Hill. He's 2-2 against Southern Arkansas, 2-0 against the Mule Riders here at home. And he is 31-7 in 3 seasons of the job inside the Noble Complex. The Bison have won 4 straight at home and 8 of 10 this season. That is this afternoon and tonight's pregame show. Stay tuned. Great American Conference semifinal game number 1 between SAU and OBU is coming up next to the Oklahoma Baptist Bison Network. Got him in.
You always make it work.
Southern Arkansas out of the floor first. Road blue and gold uniforms. They will move from left to right. Here comes Oklahoma Baptist to the home white and gold and green uniforms. They'll move from west to east, right to left across your radio dial. First half of Bison basketball tonight in the semifinals, brought to you by Sin Relief, helping you make the world around, because when help and hope combined, lives are changed. Devontae Brooks, first team all-conference selection, will oppose Nigel Wilcox at center circle. Winner will be in the championship game Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Will they host or will they be in Monticello? We'll find out over the next 2 hours or so. Your Riders have controlled the opening tip. Erin Lucas into the front court to Brooks out high. Opening possession of the contest. Jalen to Lucas left side. Lucas covered up by Jaquan Sims. Bounces at left low post for Devontae Brooks. Guarded by Harrison Stoddard. That should have been 5 seconds. No whistle, and they lob it out front to Erin Lucas. 7 to shoot. Lucas working hard against the man-to-man defense. Drives in, gets a deflected pass to Jalen Brooks. He'll throw it up and into the baseline with 2 to shoot. And that's the way the ball game starts, on a basket from Jalen Brooks.
What a great defensive set by the Bison. Almost had a 5-second call, and that unfortunately right at the last second of shot.
Thompson gets a backdoor feed as he cuts from left to right from Green and lays it into the game just like that. Is tied at 2.
There's that eye-to-eye contact. Green with Brantley Thompson cutting across the lane.
19:06 to play, first half from Shawnee. 2-2 Oklahoma Baptist and the co-division champions out of the East, Southern Arkansas. Brooks with it, left wing goes up against Stoddard, overshot the entire rim. Good defense of the low post by Harrison. Green the rebound, out ahead down to Sims. He moves left, comes to a jump stop inside the arc. Wing right with it is Brantley Thompson, floats a pass left wing side for Harrison Stoddard. 18 to shoot for Oklahoma Baptist, a 2-2 game, a minute 20 deep. Brantley's extra pass frees Green up for 3 left corner. He missed it. Devontae Brooks with Wilcox crashing, handles the rebound. To Lucas up ahead left wing. Chris Weiss with his first touch settles for a 3 and he knocks it down left wing. And the Mule Riders now take a 3-point lead, 5-2 on Chris Weiss's 15-3 of the game, and he averages just over 3 a ball game.
And Trey Green could have blocked that shot. He elected just to back off a little and went in.
Kick out, Thompson to Green. Swish, he got it right corner. Trey Green, they're going to miss 2 in a row. OBU ties the game this time again at 5 with 18:06 to play in the half.
And so many times this season we've seen Trey Green be one of those wild cards, hitting those big shots OBU needs.
OBU nearly forced a turnover. The ball deflected. Blake Rogers comes up with it just inside the 10-second line left front court. Shot clock already getting deep. It's down to 10. Driving is Blake Rogers. Back rims a foul line jump shot and hung to the front of the rim. And Jaquan Sims, one hands down the rebound. And here come the Bison. From right to left, a chance to grab their first advantage of the night.
OBU doing a great job keeping the Mule Riders off the boards in the man-to-man defense.
Sims with it left wing. OBU's been very intense on both ends of the floor. Stoddard feeds it to Wilcox. Bangs his way into Brooks. Throws it up and it off the window. Good no call, and OBU leads 7-5.
And smart by Nigel Wilcox to pull up and use the window there where he wouldn't get an offensive foul.
And they'll force a turnover as Blake Rogers drives baseline left and was forced out of bounds. First turnover for Southern Arkansas, and OBU gets it leading 7-5 with 17:23 to play in the first half.
Jason Akers got this man-to-man defense set up perfectly where Oklahoma Baptist is keeping the penetration out of the lane, and when it goes down the baseline, OBU double teams.
Jarius Hicklin, the second leading scorer of the conference at over 16 a game, comes in off the bench. He handles it to the point guard position. Veers left into the front court with 23 of the shot clock. Jarius directs traffic. Trey Green pops out high. Now they reverse left side to Brantley. Hands it to Hicklin. Hicklin with a double team out front goes to Thompson. Drives left. Dumps passes down low to Wilcox, and he's hacked on the way up, and he's going to the line. As Blake Rogers was the one that hacked down, he'll get the foul. That's his first, and the first against Southern Arkansas with 17:02 to play in the first half.
Brantley Thompson does that so much. It almost looks like a quarterback on the option. Dribbling, he rises up, is he going to shoot or is he going to dump it off? He dumps it off to Wilcox.
OBU for the foul line with just 3 of 5, both season lows, and makes it attempted against Washita here on Wednesday. Nigel misses the first free throw. Wilcox has been shooting much better for the free throw line as he's over 72% his last 8 ball games. Wilcox looking for his 3rd straight point. OBU looking to extend a 2-point advantage. Foul shots up, and it's good. Bison come in a 71% free throw shooting team. Southern Arkansas opponents get there almost 20 times again and make on the average of nearly 14. 8-5 Oklahoma Baptist, under 17 to play first half here for the Noble Complex. Erin Lucas with it, cut off left side, veers right, kicks it to Jalen Brooks, hands it off to Chris Weiss, curls over the top of the key. Now to Devontae Brooks, wing left to Blake Rogers. Rogers guarded by Brantley Thompson, and down low, a whistle. And who do they have? I think they're going to call Justin 10, who just checked in for the foul, and that is the first against OBU. 16:47 to play first half, Bison by 3.
But I like Justin 10 coming into the game, making his presence known. He's very strong and physical inside.
Erin Lucas inbounds to Blake Rogers. Fall away 15-footer, no. Devontae Brooks with a rebound. Whips it out front. Jalen Brooks to Erin Lucas for 3, no good. Brooks was over the back, no whistle. Tips it, and it's out of bounds off Devontae Brooks. A good battle that time with Brantley Thompson.
Yeah, good position by Justin 10 on Brooks there on the right block. As you said, over the back, but it was really hard for Brooks to get that ball with that tip.
Todd Miller, Scott Wanish, John Zonlow, the network crew tonight here on the Bison Radio Network from the Noble Complex. Hicklin through 2 defenders, glides to the goal, layup good. Look at the footwork as he went through 2 defenders.
Hicklin, and he dribbled back close to his body, kept it away from the defender.
10-5 OBU, driving left, Chris Weiss, cut off there by Hicklin. Feeds it to Brooks, down low. Devontae kicks it out to Weiss for 3, no. Back rimmed it right into the hands of Sims. Jaquan just checked back in, grabs his second rebound early. Bison doubling up the Mule Rider, Stoddard for 3, misses short straight on, and down for the rebound is Chris Weiss.
Whenever Stoddard shoots a three-pointer, you only have one rebounder, and that was 10, but Stoddard is a good three-point shooter.
Rogers to Brooks, out high it goes for Chris Weiss, who's 1 of 2 from long distance here early. Wing left with the basketball, Blake Rogers spins, down, pulls back, gets free of Thompson, back rims the foul line left jump shot. Weiss there for the rebound. Another offensive rebound already for Southern Arkansas. Down the paint goes Weiss, misses the layup. Devontae Brooks with another rebound, and he'll outlet to Blake Rogers.
And they're playing good defense, challenging the shots, but not getting bodies on the Mule Riders.
Foul will be called against Brantley Thompson, the senior from Tuttle. It's his first, team second. We reach our first media timeout of the night with 15:28 to play in the first half. Oklahoma Baptist, the Western Division champions, leading the co-champs of the Eastern Division, Southern Arkansas, 10-5. This is Oklahoma Baptist basketball on the OBU Radio Network.
attorney Jordan Klinger at McIntyre Law. We have over 100 years of experience fighting for Oklahomans injured in automobile and semi-accidents. Distracted driving is an epidemic. According to government studies, 1 in 4 crashes now involve texting and driving. That's 1.6 million accidents caused each year by distracted drivers. If you have been injured and you want to know your rights, call us now. The consultation is free. We love what we do and we're good at it. We are trial lawyers. Call McIntyre Law today.
Spending life wisely means taking small steps towards a life of love packed. And we're here to inspire and empower you along the way. Spend life wisely. First United Bank.
Tonight's game brought to you by SSM Health, St. Anthony Hospital, Shawnee, First National Bank and Trust Company, P&K Equipment, Tinker Federal Credit Union, and ShopOBUBison.com. 3-0 to the offensive glass. Southern Arkansas out-rebounded OBU. They're the league leaders at nearly 14 offensive boards per contest. Yale Riders were in a scoring drought of 3-10. They missed their last 6, and they just won of their last 9. Wing right is Erin Lucas. Pinched off, top of the circle. Rogers a good look. Clanked on the back of the rim and then rattles home. Blake Rogers ends a scoring drought for Southern Arkansas, and yet the Mule Riders just down 2.
And that shot wasn't even close, hitting on top of the rim, hitting the board and bouncing in.
Jarius Hicklin veers from right to left, hands it off to Wilcox to Jalen, into a 3, got it. Jarius Hicklin, in his last 5 games, averaging over 21 a game and shooting almost 60% from 3, knocks down his first long shot of the night.
He's almost unstoppable when he uses that pick up there at the top of the key.
Iriri is into the ball game for the first time. They lob it down low for Devontae Brooks, backing down against Wilcox, misses it, and very little contact, and Nigel's going to draw the foul. It's his first. So 3 different Oklahoma Baptist players have a personal foul with 14:42 to play in the opening half, and OBU's advantage is 5, 13-8. Field goal shooting, the Bison have hit 5 of their first 7. Southern Arkansas just 3 of their first 10.
Not only little contact, Todd, but Devontae Brooks with his left arm shoved Wilcox underneath the goal, and then he's still intimidated by Wilcox's leaping ability and missed the shot.
Brooks hits the first free throw for the foul line. He is a 57.5% free throw shooter, but he shot well and she 6 double-double the year, 19 points and 10 rebounds in the quarterfinal win against East Central. He misses the second. OBU clears the rebound and has a 4-point lead with the basketball. Brantley Thompson around the top of the circle. Cross courts at right corner for Sims. Slides left. Now to Green. Back to Brantley. Drives. Good bounce pass to Wilcox. He goes up, and he was about to eviscerate the rim, and Blake Rogers is able to hack him.
And that was started by Brantley Thompson once again. He was outside the three-point line, dribbles to the left to elbow, looking like he's going to shoot and dump that ball on the bounce pass to Wilcox.
How about this? OBU started assisting again tonight, right where they left off against Ouachita. 5 made field goals, 4 assists on those, and nearly one there as Nigel goes to the line and hits the first. That last foul on Blake Rogers is his second, and here comes Jordan Thompson, the freshman from Moore, into the ballgame for the first time.
And you can see why Brantley Thompson had 13 assists last game, a record high for him. He is just so astute at dribbling in, pulling up with the shot in the lane, or dumping it off.
Second free throw by Nigel is no good. OBU leads it by 5. Green trying to force a turnover in the backcourt as they're able to get it into the hands of Erin Lucas, who's been shut out to this point 0 for 2. Throws up a little floater and badly missed everything. It was well defended. Sims, 2 dribbles up ahead to Brantley. Right side, cross courts it. Left corner, Thompson. Run off the circle, gets it on a bounce pass to Nigel Wilcox, who lays it in.
Nice bounce pass this time from Jordan Thompson, and that previous play was Nigel Wilcox altering that shot. It had to go over the rim, or he would have knocked it about 8 rows deep.
Bison by 7. Wing right with it is Jalen Brooks. Slides to the goal around Green and lays it in. Jalen now with 4.
Well, Jalen Brooks didn't just slide in. He just banged into Trey Green with the body, pushed him out of the way.
13:36 to play here in the first half. It's a 5-point OBU lead, 16-11. Thompson hands it off, left wing side for Sims. Sims gets to the top of the key, gets separation, fires a 3, and he got it. Jaquan Sims knocks down a 3, and OBU has already hit 3 long-distance baskets to lead by 8.
What a move by Sims. He dribbles right towards the top of the key, around behind his back, pulls up for the three.
Jaquan from three-point range is now 6 of 10 here in the conference tournament. Blake Rogers straight on, rattles that one home for the top of the key. So he's keeping them afloat. Back-to-back three-point baskets on 2 of their last 3 possessions. 19-14 OBU.
And both of those shots really didn't look good. Even though they went in, that one was a line drive that rattled home.
Jordan Thompson on the hedge, going now one-on-one with Blake Rogers, takes him into the paint, then throws it away. Trying to kick it out in the conference defensive player of the year, Erin Lucas, with the interception. Veers right into the front court, left side for Ariri. Back out high to Lucas, swings it right for Jalen Brooks, puts it on the floor, gets into the paint. Pass knocked away. Devontae Brooks picks it up. Now goes back to Lucas. He wants Brooks to come high, sets a screen. He moves right in a blocking foul against Nigel, and that's going to be Wilcox's second. And this is not a night, Scott Wanish, in which OBU can afford to have players on the baseline in foul trouble.
Yes, Todd, especially Nigel Wilcox. He's already altered multiple shots in this game. You can tell the Mule Riders, including the Brooks brothers, are kind of intimidated knowing that that ball can get slapped out of bounds.
Charlie Thomas, who had 14 in a game 2 years ago as the Mule Riders obliterated OBU, and Magnolia checks in. Tyler Garnett is in as well. OBU leads at 19-14. Between the circles is Thomas, right side to Lucas, to Charlie against Green, and he throws it away. Well, he threw it across court, but Garnett had the ball slither through his hands out of bounds. And the basketball will go back to OBU, leading 19-14. 12:15 to play here in the first half. Bison have taken control of this ball game after they took a 7-5 lead. They've never looked back since. Hicklin bounces it out high for Brantley Thompson. Now to Stoddard, drives left into the paint, lays it up and hit the rim twice and down away, no good. Henderson State, incidentally, leading at Monticello 14-7 in the first half.
Stoddard left-handed on the right side of the floor, dribbles up the middle of the lane with that left hand, takes body contact, puts it in.
Dodge Brown, who's out there, kicks it left corner. Tyler Garnett, rebound tipped out of bounds by Southern Arkansas. If OBU wins and Henderson State wins, the Reddies will be here at 3 o'clock on Sunday. If either one of these two teams win and Arkansas Monticello wins, the Bull Weevils would host the championship game in southeastern Arkansas. Time out of the floor, 11:50 to play first half, brought to you by Sin Relief. OBU by a touchdown over the Mule Riders, 21-14 on the
Trade in for more and buy it for less. At Hudaberg Chevy in Midwest City, it's that simple. Get more money for your trade and buy new Chevys for less. And you'll get payments that fit any budget. HudabergGM.com.
You can count on Hudaberg, we'll give you more.
Trade it in for more, buy it for less. It's that easy. At Hudaberg Buick GMC in Midwest City, it's that simple. Get more money for your trade and buy new Buicks and GMCs for less. HudabergGM.com.
You can count on Hudaberg, we'll give you more.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A.
A is for above and beyond.
An extra level of care.
A game.
From caring for our guests in our community to cleanliness and safe service with a My Pleasure. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
A little funky dance.
And that too.
$11:50 to play first half. So far, so good. Oklahoma Baptist 21, Southern Arkansas 14. Earned a master's degree from OBU with graduate degrees in marriage and family therapy, Christian studies, intercultural studies, and business administration offered online and on campus. OBU can help you advance your career. Visit okbu.edu to find out more. 10 misses a wide open layup out of the break, gliding to the goal, contact, throwing it up Jalen Brooks, no whistle, rebound to Hicklin, and then a foul against Charlie Thomas, and that'll be his first.
That was a great pass by Jaquan Sims to Justin 10 for the easy layup. I don't know, he messed up his footwork or something and bricked the layup, but then he did a great job on the defensive end to alter that shot.
11:27 to play first half. Todd Miller, Scott Wanish with you. A good one is expected between these two rivals. In the Division II era, Southern Arkansas has won 7 of 10 head-to-head from the Bison. Hicklin pulls up into the paint. Try to kick it out, and it's out of bounds. One official thought it might have been touched. The other said no. It's a turnover.
Of course it was touched because Hicklin had the open shooter on the right wing, and that ball was knocked out of his hands by Erin Lucas exactly.
Each team with 2 turnovers here as we played 9 minutes of the first half of GAC Semifinal Game number 1. Erin Lucas around to Thomas, screen to the Charlie for moving, and that's his second. So Charlie Thomas, who once upon a time saw a lot more minutes than he's seen now, averaging just 1.7 points and rebounds per ball game, as a redshirt senior out of Valona, Arkansas, will come out with those 2 fouls, and Brooks comes back in.
Yeah, Wilcox has 2 fouls, and that's going to be so valuable down the stretch because Southern Arkansas does not want to challenge him in the paint.
Look at Thompson go to work, gets deep, and then throws it out. He threw it right to Erin Lucas. Lucas slows it down into the left front court. Down to Ariri, top of the key, right side to Tyler Garnett. He'll hand it off to Dodge Brown. You have to know where he's at. This kid can hit some big shots. He did last year as a freshman of the win at Magnolia. Down the paint goes to Garnett, spins and goes to Lucas out front, left wing for Ariri. Back to Brown, 7 to shoot for Southern Arkansas. They go down low to Brooks. He's doubled, drop steps, goes up over both Stoddard and Thompson. They're going to get Harrison for the foul, and that's going to be his first.
Woo. Brantley Thompson and crew and Stoddard, they had Brooks pinned in, and they went straight up. Brooks's follow-through hit Stoddard's arm, and Stoddard gets whistled.
Bison basketball brought to you by the banking team you can count on, the First National Bank and Trust Company. Talk to us first. So Devontae Brooks will go to the foul line. The left-hander's first free throw spins out. Hitting at a double-double, his 6th of the year, and the quarterfinal win over East Central. They won that game at Magnolia 82-74. That was on Wednesday night, the same night that OBU won 97-78 here over Washita. Second free throw was up, and that one is good. So Brooks is 2 of 4 at the foul line. Southern Arkansas, not a particularly great free throw shooting team, at just 67%. They're hanging around, though, here, down just 6.
Yeah, and it's good that Oklahoma Baptist is up because Washita came in here and was up early.
Stoddard on the floor, and they're going to blow the whistle, and they call a tie-up. And the possession arrow belongs to OBU. Bison all of a sudden against this pressure starting to get a little bit rattled from an offensive standpoint.
Well, there's awful lot of contact by the Mule Riders, but I think the officials are doing a good job overall. Fouls are relatively even, 5-4 in favor of the Bison.
Trey Green is in. Jordan Thompson is out. That's the way that Southern Arkansas defends. They're a very physical basketball team. Brantley Thompson had the rebound or inbounds pass knocked away from him by Jalen Brooks out of bounds.
So Jalen Brooks gets a hand on that ball, but he also displaced Brantley Thompson by 6 feet coming through him.
Trey Green inbounds to Jarius Hicklin left side, 14 to shoot. Hicklin around Dodge Brown, and Brown's going to be called for a hold, his first. And that is team foul number 5 against Southern Arkansas with 10:08 to play in the first half.
There's no way that Dodge Brown can hang with Jarius Hicklin off the dribble, much less anyone else. And Dodge Brown hand-checked him 3 times, finally got called.
Harrison Stoddard gets it down low to Thompson. They collapse on him. He kicks it out to the inbounder, Trey Green, and he tried to cross court. It's batted to midcourt. Garnett with the steal goes up, and a foul against Jarius Hicklin.
Some of those skip passes, when the Bison leave their feet, you can tell the Mule Riders been watching a lot of film here and then anticipating those backside passes.
Bison basketball brought to you by SSM Health, St. Anthony Hospital, Shawnee. They have a game plan to keep you healthy. Visit ssmhealth.com. Tyler Garnett, a junior from Springdale, Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, will go to the line. First free throw is up and good. Tyler with his first point off of the bench. He had a point, a rebound, a block, and 2 steals against East Central on Wednesday night as Wilcox will replace Hicklin in the lineup. And kind of rolling the dice is Jason Aker now with Nigel Arty with 2 fouls. Garnett averages 2.5 points and a rebound per ball game. Second one is up, and it's good. And all of a sudden, the Mule Riders have cut this thing down to a 4-point game at 21-17. Yeah,
Nigel Wilcox is proving invaluable in this game with all these altered shots. He doesn't have any blocks yet, but he's altered several.
Andy Sharp makes yet another substitution. Blake Rogers comes back into the ball game. Wing left with it is Brantley Thompson. Spins to the baseline, gets it to a wide open Wilcox, who hammers it home.
And as physical as Southern Arkansas is playing, Wilcox has the foot speed to get away from those big guys.
Blake Rogers spins for the quarter to the wing left side in front of the Bison bench with 20 to shoot for the Mule Riders. Ariri with it, right side, dribbles up into the slot. Top of the key to Blake Rogers. OBU's gone to his own. Foul line left with it is Devontae Brooks. Pivots right to left, came up short over Nigel with a hook shot in the center of the paint, and the rebound to Trey Green.
Wilcox didn't even jump that time, just acted like he was going to jump, and that altered the shot of Brooks.
31% field goal shooting for Southern Arkansas, but their defense is keeping them in it, and they force another turnover as Brantley Thompson lost the handle and then stepped on the midcourt stripe.
Yeah, that's rare that Thompson has something like that happen because he's so strong with the basketball, but he shouldn't have been spread out so far, so close to the back half court.
Stoddard, who just went out, comes back in. Wilcox will check out. Southern Arkansas has gone 4-15 without a field goal, yet they're in a two-possession game, 23-17. Dodge Brown slides right. Brooks trying to set a high screen. They could have whistled him for a moving screen. Blake Rogers against Stoddard, bangs into Stoddard, top of the circle, left wing to Brooks. Jalen with it, guarded by Thompson. Brantley nearly knocked it free, gets it back, and Stoddard from behind, rakes it out of his hands to the top of Devontae Brooks, out of bounds.
Rakes it out of his hands. Stoddard with the left hand from behind like a volleyball spike. That block went straight down into the floor.
Harrison Stoddard gets the block. He is third all-time in the Great American Conference in block shots. That's his 138th. The all-time leader in conference play, Chandler Rickey of OBU, 192, and Noah Starkey of Southern Nazarene, 187. Hicklin with a basketball, OBU by 6 with under 8.5 to play. Wilcox gets a bounce pass, goes right to the goal, and a blocking foul called against Ariri, and that's number 1 on Victor.
Yeah, Ariri got there just a little bit too late. Really wanted that, take that offensive charge against Wilcox to straddle him with 3 fouls. But once again, Wilcox is one of those posts that has such quick feet, he beat him to the spot.
Nigel, the only Bison to attempt a free throw in the first half, is 2 of 4. First one is up, and it rolls off. Nigel Wilcox, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 7 of 7 shooting, and a steal in Wednesday night's victory over Ouachita here at home, 97-78. OBU's won 4 straight at the Noble and 8 of 10. Nobody other than East Central has won here this year. Second free throw in and out. Stoddard crashed, but Devontae Brooks has the miss.
Yeah, that's a big miss because I think Jason Akers is going to protect Wilcox on defense by bringing in Justin 10.
8:19 to play first half. Lucas angles right. Bison lead it by 6. Slot left, Rogers got by with steps, backs it out, fires a long 2, no good. Devontae Brooks cradles the rebound, kicks it out to his brother Jalen, back to Devontae. They trap him on the block. Now he took steps again, cross courts at the 3, left side by Rogers, no good, and a foul called underneath against OBU. Are they looking at Jarius Hicklin? He was looking at the official saying, I didn't do anything. The official said you hooked him, and that's his second.
That is absolutely horrendous call because the guy was all over his back, and he actually grabbed Jarius Hicklin around the ribs and pulled him towards the lane. What's Hicklin supposed to do?
Hicklin will check out. Wilcox will check out. Actually, Trey Green goes to the bench as Jaquan Sims and Justin 10 come back in. And Victor Ariri will go to the free throw line. He had 2 points and 2 assists against East Central. He misses that one, and big Justin 10 with a rebound. Bison lead at 23-17 with under 8 to play here in the first half. Stoddard cross courts it to Thompson, down low to 10, goes up, shot was blocked I think by Lucas. 10 had his hands on the rebound. Devontae Brooks has it. Now to Lucas, who spins into the front court, underhands it to Jalen Brooks. Back to Aaron. Lucas guarded by Jarius Hicklin. Kicks it over the left wing side for Blake Rogers. Between the legs, it's Jalen Brooks. Now to Lucas, lobs it for Brooks. It's tipped away. Devontae goes around 10, goes back door up and under, missed it. And Jaquan Sims with a rebound.
What a great rebound. Sims, he saw that 10 had to go with Brooks to the rim, and he came off his man to suck that board down.
Sims drives in, his trap needs some help. Almost lost it, gets it to Brantley Thompson, and Brantley says, let's talk about this. Jason Aker wants a timeout, and his captain made sure he got that with 7:19 to play in the first half. Southern Arkansas has missed their last 7. They've missed 8 of their last 10. They are shooting for the ball game 25%, yet it's just a 6-point OBU advantage, 23-17. More to come after these messages on the Bison Radio Network.
Possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
Noble McIntyre of McIntyre Law. We have over 100 years of experience fighting for Oklahomans injured in automobile or semi-trucking accidents. Distracted driving is an epidemic. According to government studies, there are 1.6 million accidents caused each year by distracted drivers using cell phones. 1 in 4 of all crashes now involve texting and driving. If you have been injured and want to learn more about your rights, call us right now. The consultation is free.
We love what we do, and we're good at it. We are trial lawyers. Call McIntyre Law today.
Todd Miller, Scott Wanish, John Zunlow back with you from the Noble Complex. 23-17 OBU, 7:19 to play first half. Let's step aside for stations on the network to identify themselves. This is Oklahoma Baptist Bison basketball on the OBU Radio Network. Jordan Thompson enters the basketball game. Brantley Thompson with a side in, gets it to JT. Now to Wilcox, who pulled it away from Devontae Brooks. Southern Arkansas to man-to-man defense. Thompson drives left, pulls up, mid-range jump shot. No, follow tip by Wilcox, wouldn't go. Nigel gets it back, whips it to Brantley out front, dribbles through 2 defenders, and then throws it away.
You know, usually Wilcox is in sync with Brantley Thompson. I thought that looked like a good lead pass, and Wilcox just missed it.
Out of the ball game is Ariri, and coming back in, actually, I think is Trent Ivey for the first time. Trent Ivey has been in now 11 games, a redshirt sophomore from Bossier City, Louisiana. Actually, it's Chris Wash that's back out there. Left side, Erin Lucas gets into the paint, gets it to Devontae Brooks, gets Thompson in the air, kicks it out. Wash corner right, no. Rebound tipped up, and Sims has it. Bison of the first half are out-rebounding Southern Arkansas by 2, 13-11.
And that's because the guards are coming down and rebounding. Outstanding job by Jaquan Sims on the backside.
JT, catch and shoot 3, left corner, no. Stoddard with a rebound, kicks it back out. Sims pump fakes. Lucas stays down. Lucas trying to swipe the ball free. Now forces Sims to give it up to Thompson. He right-hand dribbles into the paint, feeds it to 10, and lays it in.
Good things happen when Jordan Thompson gets deep in the lane. A little handoff to Justin 10 for the finger roll.
6:11 to play first half. OBU by 8, 25-17. They've not trailed since it was 5-2 Mule Riders. The game was tied at 5. A basket by OBU gave them a 7-5 lead, and they're yet to look back. Brooks, as they collapse, kicks it out. Devontae to Jalen, and he bricked a 3. Wide open, and he missed it hard wide right, and the Bison control the window.
Didn't even hit the rim, just off the backboard. That's another tough rebound that Sims pulls away.
Looked like Scott Wanish trying to play me in the game before us.
Oh, yeah.
Sims with it to 10, top of the circle. You're old, your skills have deteriorated just like mine. Thompson, a floater down the paint with contact, and he throws it in.
Contact again. It looked like he got his feet tangled up with one of the Mule Riders. No call, but he kept his balance, moving to the left. Hit nothing but net.
OBU's cooled to 65% field goal shooting in the first half. Brantley is 2 for 3. The lead is double digits. Bison have gone to a 2-3 zone. They bounce it for Jalen Brooks, who goes up and lays it in. And one, compliments of Justin 10's second foul.
Boy, Justin 10 almost had that blocked shot, and it looked like it was going to be a good foul because Brooks was so close to the rim, but Brooks was strong with the basketball and forced that in.
Sims is out. Nigel Wilcox comes in. How good is Devontae Brooks and Erin Lucas? Well, Erin Lucas is 20th entering tonight in career points at Southern Arkansas with 1,149. His counterpart, Devontae Brooks, is 16th with over 1,200, 1,223 to be exact. Devontae Brooks is second all-time in games started. Tonight is his 96th start. Jalen Brooks rolls the free throw off. Bison with a rebound. The lead is 8, 27-19. 5:15 to play in the half, and Hicklin carves his way down the paint, and he's going to the line.
Hicklin right between Erin Lucas and Devontae Brooks. He just forced his way. As slender as Jarius Hicklin is, he was strong, parted the defense, drew the foul.
Devontae Brooks called for his first, team 7. Both teams are into the 1-1. Hicklin, though, will shoot 2. Jarius Hicklin has scored 20 or more 3 times during the last 5-game stretch in which he sizzled. He front rims the first free throw and down. Hicklin has just been brilliant since coming in after that 5-game, 2-week layoff due to COVID in mid-January.
And Hicklin is so good off the dribble. He's already made a three-pointer top of the key that time he drove in, so he's got his game going, whatever he wants to do.
He hits both. He's got 7. OBU back in front by 10, 29-19. Right front court, Chris Wash against Jarius, who slides down, cuts him off. Wanish goes out high. Pass from Jalen Brooks, tipped away from Devontae Brooks. He gets it back, throws it up, and he's fouled. And if that's on Justin 10, that's the third on 10. And it is.
And I tell you, that was a good play by Justin 10. He got a piece of that pass to disrupt it from Devontae Brooks where he couldn't get a layup. But then Brooks just jumped into him, and I guess 10 was moving.
Devontae Brooks will go to the line for the 5th and 6th time here in the first half, and Jason Aker is screaming mad. First one is up and good. Brooks has made a living to the foul line. With his 3 makes tonight, he now has 280 career free throws made. That was 6th all-time in school history. And his 6 foul shots attempted now give him 473. That is 4th all-time in Mule Riders history. Second one with the left-hander is up, and it's good. And just like that, it's a 9-point game, or an 8-point game, 29-21. And that's 4:50 to play here in the first half. Jordan Thompson with it between the circles, guarded by Erin Lucas. Veers left. JT now moves back right, dribbles between the legs. Brantley Thompson pops out, foul line extended to the wing. Brantley drives left, gets around Jalen Brooks, whips it out high, straight on 3 by Green. Front rims, no, and Devontae Brooks has the miss.
Yeah, and Wilcox couldn't go after that board because he's got 2 fouls.
Jalen Brooks gets deep, gets a lob, takes a dribble, and lays it in. Henderson State with 3.5 to go in the first half, and Monticello leading UAM 27-26. Bull Eagles are 4-0 this year against the Reddies. Here it's 29-23 OBU. They've led by as many as 10. Brantley Thompson left side. Jordan Thompson for 3. No good. And Nigel Wilcox battles for the rebound, and then he's out of bounds.
That's a great rebound by Wilcox. I'll tell you, Devontae Brooks is so physical. He had a hard body, knocked Wilcox out of bounds. He just had no choice but to try to throw it in.
I had a couple of people tell me it's the first time this year that they've watched OBU play on Wednesday night, and they said, how fortunate are you to get to watch Nigel Wilcox work every night? And I said, we've said the same thing since the very first moment we laid eyes on this kid from Alpharetta, Georgia.
He has so many different skills defensively, rebounding, offensively.
Lucas dribbles, bounces at left baseline. Jalen Brooks hangs in the air and missed it, and he's fouled. Well, this has become a foul fest as Trey Green now picks up his first. That's the 10th against Oklahoma Baptist, and the final media timeout comes with 3:52 to play before the break, and Southern Arkansas showing a little bit of life. They were down 29-19. They run a 4-0 run and a chance to extend it, despite missing 9 of their last 11 for the floor and shooting just 29% here in the first half.
And I'm dumbfounded, and this ain't being a homer at all, but 10-7 OBU has more fouls than the Mule Riders, and the fouls on the end of OBU are not near as physical of the no calls on the other end.
P&K Equipment is a premier John Deere dealer, proudly serving customers across Oklahoma and Arkansas through their 18 locations, including the OKC, Tulsa, Springdale, and Fort Smith metro areas. Visit them online at pkequipment.com. And folks, believe it or not, storm season is almost upon us. This year, finance your storm shelter with Tinker Federal Credit Union. Visit any TFCU branch or go to tinkerfcu.org to apply. Baseball began their 3-game set in Weatherford, and the Bison, who swept Ouachita in town last week, dropped a 6-5 decision to the Bulldogs. Final 2 games of that series tomorrow. Doubleheader in softball for Sam Maples Club as they will play tomorrow afternoon, 2 against Southwestern, and then finish up the series on Sunday afternoon.
OBU coming out of the timeout. Going to have free throws for Southern Arkansas. At least Oklahoma Baptist maintaining a steady lead, but it has drilled down to 6 points. It was as high as 11.
OBU has cooled off. They're at 59% shooting, 11 of 19. Southern Arkansas is going to be in just about every game, whether it's in Magnolia, Shawnee, whether it's on the face of the moon, because they pack that defense. Jalen Brooks missed his only free throw attempt of the night, and he hits the first one. He'll get a bonus, and that extends the run down to 5 and a chance to make it 6 straight. Jalen Brooks, the younger brother of Devontae Brooks, one of 3 players to rank this year in the top 10 of the conference in both steals and block shots. He's a complete player, and he now has 8 points as he hits both.
Here's Hicklin with the ball in his hands, one-on-one against Erin Lucas.
Bounce pass, Brantley Thompson, slot left, and he throws it away. Brantley uncharacteristically has 3 turnovers tonight. Out of the pack, Tyler Garnett bounces it to Lucas. Lucas is 0 of 4 shooting, still has not scored in 15 minutes of play, but he already has 5 assists. Between the circles with the basketball is Jalen Brooks. OBU in a man-to-man defense. Left side, Garnett gets it down low on the baseline. Devontae Brooks backs into Wanish. Pump fakes, goes right side. Lucas drives against Brantley, who cuts him off. Now they bounce it for Jalen Brooks, who spins and throws it in off the window. He's got 4 straight, and the run now is 8 straight for Southern Arkansas, and they're within a bucket.
Jalen Brooks got a little bit too deep on Hicklin there, rose up above him off the glass.
Hicklin spins, a lot of contact out front. Jalen, left wing for Trey Green, down low to Harrison Stoddard, 14 to shoot. Stoddard goes to work, goes up, puts up a left hand over Devontae Brooks and missed everything. Rebound to Brooks, and then Jalen threw it over and back as he tried to get it to Garnett, who tried to jump over the midcourt stripe but couldn't quite get there.
And the reason why that was over and back, because the mule rider, the receiver, was not in the front court, did not establish position.
Hicklin is out. Jordan Thompson is back in, so it's Jordan and Brantley along with Nigel Harrison and Jaquan Sims for OBU. Bison have gone scoreless now for 2:15 of this first half. During that time, the Mule Riders have made their last 3 from the floor, and they're on an 8-0 run. Thompson spins center into the paint, gets it now to Stoddard, bangs his way in, and an offensive foul called against Harrison. That's his second.
Well, that was a nice flop by Erin Lucas right there.
Telling you, the fouls are going to be a problem at this rate on OBU.
Oh.
2 on Nigel, 2 on Hicklin, 3 on Justin 10, and now 2 on Stoddard, and 10 is going to come in and get Harrison Stoddard with 2:39 to play in the first half.
Oh, and that's big on the big men, because Southern Arkansas is having a tough time shooting over the 3 Oklahoma Baptist big men.
SAU can tie or take the lead. They can take it with a 3. Lucas tries to deliver and bricked it. Rebound is tipped by Sims, saved in bounds by 10 to Jordan Thompson, who had it hit him, and then he couldn't quite find it. 2:15 to play first half. OBU scoring drought is 3 minutes plus in duration. Their once 10-point lead is down to 2. Jordan moves left, hands it off. Sims jump passes down low to 10, who gathers, goes up and under it in.
What play by Justin 10. He grabs a perfect pass from Sims up above his head, and then reverse layup one-handed.
Stops the bleeding. OBU 31, Southern Arkansas 27. Lucas with it, wing left. Jalen Brooks sets a screen. Aaron cross courts it in front of us for Garnett. Spins it against Sims, lays it high off the glass, missed it, tipped by Jalen Brooks. No good. 10 with a rebound, and he's fouled. That's on Jalen. And Jalen, I think, was nothing more than frustrated as that ball hung at the rim and just would not drop.
Yeah, good, strong rebound by Justin 10. He's got those long arms, and he squeezes it up top. They try to get it out of his hands, and the only way they did was to try to hit his arms, and 10 still held on to the ball.
Justin 10 is going to go to the free throw line. 10 is he's 3 of 4 for the line. He was a perfect 2 of 2 free throw shooting against Ouachita here on Wednesday night. Winner will face the winner of UAM and Henderson State. A 1-point game with 3.5 to play first half for Monticello. First foul shot by 10 is up and good. He'll get one more, and Justin has 5 points. What a night he had the other night, 10.5 minutes, as he tallied 4 points, 3 rebounds, and he's clean on both. And as I alluded to, and you heard me with Jason, this guy has just gotten leaps and bounds better from the first game of the year, the exhibition against McHugh.
Oh, it's outstanding, and this is huge substitution by Aker to protect Stoddard and Wilcox. Justin 10 himself has 3 fouls, the big defensive rebound, and then the layup and the 2 free throws.
Savon Milton is into the ball game, a native of Oklahoma City, graduate of Heritage Hall. Wing left is Ariri. They'll skip it across the floor to Garnett. OBU in his own defense, and it's nearly knocked off of Tyler Garnett by Sims out of bounds.
Great play by Jaquan Sims, anticipating that pass with his right hand and trying to knock it off.
Southern Arkansas turnover margin almost 1 full better per ball game. They've only turned it over 4 times here in the first half, and on cue, that's the 5th of the foul. Ariri just threw it right to Sims, and then Victor fouled Jaquan, and he's going to go to the line for the final 1 of the half, as that's the second on Victor Ariri.
Jaquan Sims looked like a sneaky little fox there outside the top of the key, kind of bent down, and when that pass was attempted over his head, he just leaped up with the right hand, sucked it down.
I wish we were on camera for once. You really got into that acting job about that sneaky little fox, didn't you?
Well, I tell you, it was Jaquan Sims just baited him in just like he had a bait on the hook. Come on, buddy, come on, just throw that over my head.
Quan hits the first foul shot. He'll get one more. Jaquan coming off a 21-point game against Ouachita. Reynolds the second home, and OBU now has answered with 4 straight. After Ouachita had cut it to a 2-point game. 35-27, a minute 14 to play first half from Shawnee. Jalen Brooks, right circle for Ariri. Ariri trying to bounce it down low for Jalen Brooks, and guess who? Brantley Thompson, who's had a heck of a night defensively with the steal.
Yeah, and Justin Tinn was trying to deny that pass. It looked like he got away with his fourth foul, went through the offensive player.
Sims against Lucas, right side to Green. A hard bounce pass off the foot of Jalen Brooks, kicks out of bounds. With 17 to shoot and under a minute to play, 54 seconds to be exact in the first half. 35-27 OBU.
Well, that sneaky fox steal by Sims was big here, 4-point swing.
Green telegraphed a bounce pass in traffic, and out of the pack with it is Tyler Garnett. 2 on 3, now dumps it to Devontae Brooks, who lays it in. And a timeout called by Andy Sharp, the 9th-year Mule Rider head coach, from the other end of the floor. And we'll keep it right here with 45 seconds to play. From up here, you could clearly see that pass was not going to get the job done from Trey Green.
You know, we talk about how physical Southern Arkansas is playing basketball, but not only that, they're so active and they're feeding with each other, narrowing these passing lanes, making it very tough for OBU.
First half brought to you by Sin Relief, helping you make a difference in your community and the world around, because with help and hope combined, lives are changed. Tonight's game brought to you by our cornerstone sponsors, Sin Relief and Noble McIntyre of McIntyre Law. A big thank you to the OBU College of Graduate Studies and Emmanuel Baptist Church for jumping on as cornerstone sponsors here in the postgame. Todd Miller, Scott Wanish with you from Shawnee. 40 seconds to play first half. Into the front court is Jarius Hicklin. Crosses over, gets deep, throws up a teardrop floater, back rims it, and Brooks has the miss. To Erin Lucas, who speeds into the front court. He'll cross court it left side for Garnett. Back to Erin. Difference of 4 seconds on the shot and game clock. We're at 25 seconds to play here in the first half. They lob it off of the baseline. Jalen to Devontae, and he tips it in. You think those two haven't done that 1,000 times in their life.
Well, that was a great call by the Mule Riders. Have the receiver at the left elbow. Ball goes to the baseline. He cuts to the basket for the little alley-oop.
35-31, closing seconds. Hicklin trapped out front. 4 seconds to play half. Thompson spins, pulls up foul line left, and got the jumper at the buzzer. Holy Toledo, Brantley Thompson, with the clock winding down, had just enough to square up off the spin move and knock down a jumper that gives OBU a 37-31 lead here at halftime in semifinal number 1 of the Great American Conference Men's Basketball Tournament.
You said it, Todd. That spin pivot by Brantley Thompson. He dribbles left, takes that big step into the lane, then the spin pivot back. That gives him space to shoot from 15 feet right at the buzzer to make that shot.
Stay with us. Coming up next, it's the Huderberg Auto Group halftime show from Shawnee. Oklahoma Baptist 37, the Mule Riders 31. This is Bison Basketball on the OBU Radio Network.
Trade in for more and buy it for less. At Huderberg Chevy in Midwest City, it's that simple. Get more money for your trade and buy new Chevys for less. And you'll get payments that fit any budget. HuderbergGM.com.
You can count on Huderberg, we'll give you more.
Trade it in for more, buy it for less. It's that easy. At Huderberg Buick GMC in Midwest City, it's that simple. Get more money for your trade and buy new Buicks and GMCs for less. HuderbergGM.com.
You can count on Huderberg, we'll give you more.
Let me tell you a story about a woman who walks miles to carry undrinkable water to her family. Let me tell you about the water everywhere, but not a drop to drink after a hurricane. I'll tell you about people, millions of people, who find themselves in a strange land far, far away. And I'll tell you a story about a farmer whose family and finances are being starved by drought. And how, on the other side of the world, there is a family starving for nutrients in a food desert. I'll tell you the tale of a trafficked teenager waiting to be assaulted again tonight, and again, and again. And how once upon a time, there was a child who would go to sleep without a bedtime story because that child didn't have someone to read them a bedtime story. It wasn't just once upon a time. It was hundreds of thousands and even millions upon a time. But that's not where the story has to end. Together, as Southern Baptists, we can rewrite the story. Together, we can become an unstoppable force of hope. Together, we can respond. Together, we can meet needs across the globe.
Together, we can change lives in our own communities. Together, we are Send Relief.
Inside the Noble Complex, Oklahoma Baptist University leads Southern Arkansas 31-37, 37-31 at the break. Also a big game in the conference tournament on the Arkansas Monticello trails Henderson 31-30 at halftime. Oklahoma Baptist biggest lead of the game was 10. That came with 5:43 left to play before intermission. The biggest lead for the Mule Riders was 3. That was at the 18:33 mark. Best scoring run of the game, Southern Arkansas 8 at the 3:14 mark. Oklahoma Baptist 8 at the 16:26 mark in the opening half. Lead has changed once. The game's been tied twice. Time with the lead. Oklahoma Baptist leads with a dominating 17-minute, 32 seconds to 28 seconds time to lead for the Mule Riders. Points from turnovers, Oklahoma Baptist trails Southern Arkansas 7-5, but they lead 20-12 by points in the paint. Second chance points, Southern Arkansas 3, OBU 2. Fast break points, Oklahoma Baptist 8, Southern Arkansas 7. And then points off the bench, the Bison have a dominating 13-2 advantage there. Shooting by the first half, Oklahoma Baptist 13 of 23, 56.5%, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc, 37.5%, and 8 of 12 from the free throw line. For the Mule Riders, 10 of 29 from the field, 34.5%, 3 of 10 from downtown, 8 of 12 from the floor. Today's halftime show is brought to you by the Hudeberg Auto Group. Visit Hudeberg.com to browse their selection of over 1,000 new and used vehicles. Here in the Great American Conference postseason tournament, Oklahoma Baptist 37, Southern Arkansas 31. This is Bison Basketball on the OBU Radio Network. Welcome back to Bison Hill. Oklahoma Baptist University 37, Southern Arkansas 31 at intermission. Individually for Southern Arkansas, Devontae Brooks, 2 of 5 from the field, 4 of 6 from the line. He has 8 points, 8 rebounds, leads all rebounders, also has 3 offensive rebounds. Chris Weiss, 1 for 3 from the floor. Those were all 3-pointers. He has 3 points. Erin Lucas, the GAC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, is held scoreless by OBU's man-to-man defense. 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from downtown. 0 points, but he does have 6 assists and 2 steals. Blake Rogers, 2 of 7 from the floor, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. He has 6 points. Then leading all scorers is Jalen Brooks, the brother of Devontae Brooks. He has 12 points, shooting 5 of 7 from the field, misses only 3-point attempt, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Rounding out the scoring for the Mule Riders, Tyler Garrett, he has 2 free throws. That's 2 points. That's the 31 for our Southern Arkansas. For Oklahoma Baptist, Nigel Wilcox, an untarnished 3 of 3 from the field, has 8 points, leads the Bison, 2 of 6 from the charity stripe, 4 rebounds. He does not have a blocked shot, but several altered shots down inside by the leaping Wilcox. Jaquan Sims, a huge steal late in the first half. He's 1 of 1 from the field. That was from downtown. He has 5 points, also 2 free throws. 7 rebounds for Jaquan Sims, dropping down from the guard position, also from the backside rebounding, helping out a lot when the big guys are tangled in with Devontae Brooks down low. Brantley Thompson, 3 for 4 from the field. He has 6 points, 2 assists. Trey Green, 1 for 3 from the field. That was a big 3-pointer. Those were all threes, 3 points. Jarius Hicklin, 2 of 3 from the floor, 1 of 1 from downtown, 2 for 2 from the charity stripe, 7 points. Justin 10, 2 of 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from the field, but he is straddled with 3 fouls. He also has 2 rebounds. Jaquan Sims leads the Bison with 7 rebounds, Wilcox with 4. And then on the boards, OBU leads 19-15 against the top rebounding team in the conference, Southern Arkansas. Today's halftime show is brought to you by the Hudeberg Auto Group. Visit Hudeberg.com to browse their selection of over 1,000 new and used vehicles. At halftime, Bison 37, Mule Riders 31. This is Bison basketball on the OBU Radio Network. Conference postseason basketball, excellent basketball inside the Noble Complex. OBU 37, Southern Arkansas 31 at the break. Assists for Southern Arkansas, 9. Oklahoma Baptist, 8. Brantley Thompson and Jordan Thompson each have a pair. 6 for Erin Lucas of Southern Arkansas. Jalen Brooks. Offensive rebounds, the Mule Riders lead by a 5-2 margin, but OBU leads 19-15 overall on the boards. From three-point land, 3 of 10 from downtown for the Mule Riders, 3 of 8 for Oklahoma Baptist University. The only block shot of the game came from Harrison Stoddard, a big left-hand volleyball spike from behind, and Oklahoma Baptist leads 37-31. Today's show is brought by the Hudeberg Auto Group. Visit Hudeberg.com to visit 1,000 new and used vehicles. This is OBU Basketball Radio Network.
Stampede donors are making a direct and tangible impact of the success of more than 550 OBU student athletes in the classroom, the community, and the fields of competition. When you give to the Stampede Club, you are truly investing in champions. To learn more and to sign up today, you can do so at obubison.com/Stampede. Tonight's game proudly presented by our cornerstone sponsors, Noble McIntyre and Sin Relief, and a big thank you to the OBU College of Graduate Studies and Emmanuel Baptist Church for their support of Bison Hoops in the postseason. Second half brought to you by OBU alumnus Noble McIntyre and his team of dedicated and effective personal injury attorneys at McIntyre Law. Bison by 6, Southern Arkansas has it. They go from right to left to start the second half. Lucas, who was held scoreless, to Jalen Brooks. Left side to Blake Rogers, down low to Devontae Brooks. It's tipped by Trey Green, and Harrison Stoddard has turnover number 1 of the second half and the 7th of the night for the Mule Riders. 19:40 to play in the second half of the GAC Semifinal matchup between OBU and Southern Arkansas. Winner will either host or go to UAM on Sunday for the title game. And Sims at the foul line rattles home a jumper. Jaquan Sims now with 7. Very balanced scoring tonight for the Bison, and they strike first here in the second half to lead by 8.
And how valuable is that to have Jaquan Sims so hot here in the playoffs?
Wanish with it to Devontae Brooks, hands it off wing right to Blake Rogers, down low to Devontae. It's tipped by Trey Green, his second big play defensively. Up ahead to Brantley Thompson, wing left. He steps around the defender, back to Trey to Brantley. 19:04 to play, second half. OBU leads Southern Arkansas and Shawnee 39-31. Thompson to Sims out high. Sims against Erin Lucas. Cut off, left wing, goes to the corner now for Green. 11 to shoot. Back to Jaquan, dances left. Now Brantley comes out of the Bison logo. Attacks right, goes to the goal, and the shot was blocked that time by Blake Rogers, and a whistle when the ball is out of bounds off Southern Arkansas. Nigel Wilcox, Trey Green, Brantley Thompson, Harrison Stoddard, and Jaquan Sims, the 5 that begin the basketball game out there for Southern Arkansas. Same 5 that begin for Southern Arkansas start the second half. The Brooks brothers, Rogers, Wanish, and Lucas. They lob it inbounds, and the ball broken up and stolen away. Lucas has it to Jalen Brooks up ahead to Wanish. Double clutches. It was challenged. He missed the layup. Bodies on the floor. Nigel Wilcox has it. OBU will get the basketball in the rotating arrow with 18:36 to play in the second half from Shawnee. OBU 39. Southern Arkansas, the co-champions of the Eastern Division of the Great American Conference, 31.
You talk about some defense in this game, Todd. Both ways, these teams want to advance in this tournament. It is rough on both ends, especially the Mule Riders playing so physical. Cox trying to go for the alley-oop there. He couldn't get away from Erin Lucas.
If Henderson State upsets Arkansas Monticello, they went 0-4 against the Weevils in the regular season. The winner of this game would host the title game. If UAM wins, either one of these two would be in Monticello on Sunday afternoon. Foul line left with a basketball as Brantley Thompson spins, lays it up and in with the left hand. Look at Brantley as he just went right at and then around Blake Rogers.
Brantley Thompson held the ball above his head, spun around, act like he was going slow, then quick up the left side of the lane.
4 straight for OBU to open up the second half. They lead it by 10. It equals their biggest lead of the night. Wanish with it on the baseline, backs down against Green, goes up with a hook shot, front rims it off, and Stoddard has another rebound. Harrison Stoddard tonight has just his second retrieval of the ball game. Back at his way in, Sims goes hard to the rack, missed it. Shot may have been partially blocked. I believe it was Brooks. Jalen Brooks out of the pack with it. Accelerates right, gets it now in the circle to Rogers. His 3 no good. Nigel Wilcox among 2 defenders. One was Devontae Brooks, the other Wanish rips away the rebound.
And Wilcox is getting hit, and he just out-jumps everyone for the rebound.
Stoddard open 3, no good. Harrison is now 0 of 2 from 3 and 1 of 4 shooting. The rebound poked out of bounds. Last touch by Brantley Thompson. In for Southern Arkansas, Tyler Garnett. 6'1" junior from Springdale, Arkansas. Garnett in the first half had 2 points off the bench. And now Harrison will check out, and coming in is going to be Justin Tin, who played well. Tin was 2 of 4 shooting, had 2 rebounds and 6 points in 7 minutes. The only negative to his work was 3 fouls in the first half. 17-10 to go. OBU leads it by 10. Devontae Brooks with it out high. Hands it to Erin Lucas in front of Andy Sharp. With a left hand, throws up a teardrop floater and finally gets it to drop. With almost 3 minutes gone in the second half, the Conference Player of the Year, Erin Lucas, gets his first basket, and Southern Arkansas reduces the deficit to 8.
And that was good defense by the Bison, maybe a little better offense, and that ball just barely rattled in with that little one-handed runner.
Justin Tin hands it to Brantley, slot left. Now to Sims, left 3, no. Rebound to the foul line, Garnett. He'll push up ahead from right to left. for the blue and gold-cladded Mule Riders. They kick it out left side. Jalen Brooks is 3-0. Devontae Brooks weak side with a rebound. Lucas works top of the circle, cut off by Brantley. He's done a great job on him. Wanish bounces it to Brooks, and he took steps. And Nigel Wilcox and Justin Tin collapsed to force that turnover.
Yeah, Wilcox forced that. He came from the backside, hardcore. It looked like he bumped the Mule Rider a little bit and then got the walk call.
9th turnover for Southern Arkansas. 10 for OBU in the ball game. 41-33 with 16.5 to play. OBU's outscored Southern Arkansas 4-2 to start the second half. And again, we played almost 3.5 minutes of the final half. Brantley Thompson around 2 defenders, gets it to 10, wide open underneath, and he lays it in. And he got it off just before the charging defenders could get there.
Tin is doing a great job by just rolling off the pick. Thompson wanted to use the pick, but instead, Tin just rolled to the basket.
Jalen Brooks, middle of the floor, left side, Chris Wanish. Wanish guarded by Trey Green, moves left, slides right, puts up a hook and dropped it in. Chris Wanish with his second basket. He did not score against East Central. He's got 5 tonight at OBU.
That's the 3rd time in a row Chris Wanish has challenged tough defender Trey Green one-on-one to the bucket. That's his first bucket on that try.
Jalen Hicklin working against Lucas, 2 of the best players in the conference. Hicklin lets fly a high arcing 3 from 24, missed it. Devontae Brooks with a rebound. 15.5 to play, second half. OBU leads it by 8. Sliding right, Tyler Garnett now spins on the baseline, gets free of Thompson, cut off by 10, feeds it to Devontae Brooks, gets 3 defenders in the air, and Harrison Stoddard with a monster block. Hicklin brings it to the front court and had it poked away from behind, but it carried him right back into the hands of Jarius.
Stoddard and Justin Tin were all over that. You could give a block to each one of those guys.
Southern Arkansas shooting just 33% tonight. 15:05 to play second half. Bison lead at 43-35. Tin with it out front, needs some help, and they're going to call a tie-up. And Jalen Brooks only had one hand of the basketball, but that's enough to force a turnover, and Jason Akers saying the same thing. Hey, how did he tie him up? It'll be a turnover and Mule Rider basketball out of the break. First media time out of the second half. 15 minutes to play. Semifinal number 1 from Shawnee. Oklahoma Baptist 43. Southern Arkansas 35. This is Bison basketball and the Bison.
Noble McIntyre of McIntyre Law. We have over 100 years of combined litigation experience fighting for Oklahomans injured as a result of a semi-crash. These crashes are traumatic and in most cases cause catastrophic injuries and even death. Our most recent trial involved a fatal semi-truck crash, resulting in a $4.25 million verdict for our client. If you have been injured and want to know more about your rights, call us. The consultation is free.
We love what we do, and we're good at it. We are trial lawyers. Call McIntyre Law.
We can't walk in your shoes or work right beside you, but we can be here for you. In money, in life. We get it. We're on this path together. You and TFCU, Tinker Federal Credit Union.
Bison basketball brought to you by P&K Equipment. Stop by any of their 18 locations today and see why around here John Deere starts with P&K. Also, Tinker Federal Credit Union. Their quick checking is online, easy, and makes your money work for you. Simply use TFCU's online services to earn a higher rate on your checking account balance. 12 of 36 shooting. Southern Arkansas 33%, 3 of 12 Mule Riders from 3. OBU, after blistering the nets from beyond the arc to the tune of 16 of 29 2 days ago, just 3 of 11 from 3 tonight, still shooting 51.5%.
Justin Tin got hit in the eye out top there. He was looking for a 30-second timeout, injury timeout. I guess he didn't vocalize it well enough. He was spinning away from the defender, and I guess Jason Aker didn't call timeout either.
Jason Aker is 4-2 in 3 years in the postseason, all in Great American Conference tournament play. Bison have won at least one conference tournament game in the last 3 years. They're meeting SAU for the first time ever in conference postseason tournament history. Southern Arkansas, for the 3rd time under Andy Sharp, is in the conference semifinals. They've never, though, advanced to a championship game. Erin Lucas brings it across midcourt, sets the table out front. Tyler Garnett. Garnett gets a screen now from Jesse Davis Jr., who's out there for the first time. Spinning is Garnett, and he lays it in. They're going to call a foul on the floor, but it looked like to me, Scott, there were steps before the foul was called against Harrison Stoddard.
I agree with you, Mr. Miller. That was a hard stumble just outside the semicircle.
Third foul against Harrison, 3 on Nigel Wilcox. So fouls are going to be a story of this one tonight. Only the first foul against either side in the second half. And Jesse Davis Jr. came down to the sideline handling the inbounds pass. 10th turnover now for the Mule Riders.
Wow, the bad thing about that Chintzy foul, it was on Harrison Stoddard, his third, and Justin Tenn has 3 as well.
14:51 to play. Lucas with a steal of Jordan Thompson takes it back the other way and lays it in. He showed why he's the defensive player of the year in the league right there. Gets a big steal and a deficit down to 6 for the Mule Riders, 43-37. Thompson gets it in the paint to Wilcox. Pivots to Stoddard, straight on for 3. It's short. And Karam's right to Chris Weiss. Now to Lucas, up ahead, left side. Garnett goes between 2 defenders and lays it up over a swiping right hand of Wilcox and in.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. Double pump by Garrett. He jumps up and it just kind of rolls around the rim, falls in left-handed.
Southern Arkansas on a 6-0 run in less than 2 minutes. They've cut it down from 10 to 43-39. Jordan Thompson against Erin Lucas gets a screen from Stoddard and a foul. Jalen Brooks had picked the pocket of the young point guard, but they call contact, and Brooks, instead of a layup probably that would cut it to 2, now has his second foul.
Southern Arkansas attacking the freshman Jordan Thompson on defense, really going for that ball. Good job by Thompson to dribble into Brooks to pick up that foul.
Thompson has had a tough night tonight, really, against this man-to-man pressure. Growing up, learning experience for him, but he hasn't had many of those nights. He's played well beyond his years this year. Hicklin around a screen from Stoddard, now goes to the high post. Jarius comes back right. Is pinched off, picks his dribble up, gets it to Stoddard. Southern Arkansas overplaying every passing lane. Brantley Thompson against Garnett goes up, and Tyler Garnett is called for the foul. It's his first.
Yeah, he slapped Thompson pretty hard there on the forearm. That ball only made it halfway to the goal on the shot by Brantley Thompson.
Second team foul against Southern Arkansas, so Brantley to the line for the first time tonight. Just under a 70% free throw shooter. Brantley did not go to the line, had 15 points and 3 rebounds in the win over Ouachita Wednesday night. He adds one more, and he'll be in double figures tonight, the first Bison to do so. And Devontae Brooks, after a quick blow over the bench, will replace Jesse Davis Jr. in the lineup for the Mule Riders. Second foul shot by Brantley is up and good. And the lead goes to 45-39. 13:34 to go. This one is going to come down to the wire as expected between Southern Arkansas and OBU. So many of their battles have. Hickman with a steal out front and a foul called against Tyler Garnett. In the NBA, that would be a clear path foul. Instead, it's just a common foul and the second consecutive on Tyler Garnett. And it was a wise one because Hicklin would have had an easy bucket.
What a great play by Jarius Hicklin. He comes up on the B on the Bison, denying the pass and then reaching out with the left hand, tipping it to himself. Garrett grabs his shirt and pulls on Hicklin. Otherwise, he's gone for the dunk.
Now, I think they're talking about it. They may call an intentional foul. And that's what 2 of the officials are going to go to the monitor and look at. Andy Sharp says, okay, while they do that, get over here. I'm going to talk to you. Jason Aker already has his kids huddled up. Jason was really, really intense tonight, was he not, Scott, when we talked to him before the broadcast?
No doubt about it, and you can tell it carried over to the defense. The defense is just playing outstanding for the Bison, and a great play by Hicklin. Great point by you, by the way. That should be an intentional foul because Garrett grabbed Hicklin's jersey, didn't even come close to going for the ball.
Well, it's not a clear path. It doesn't exist, nor is it an intentional foul. So Brantley Thompson will lob it inbounds to Jarius Hicklin. Jason Aker wanted a foul called on Erin Lucas. Stoddard lobs it back to Hicklin near the midcourt stripe. He attacks left and a foul. Before the shot, Erin Lucas picks up his first. And the foul starting about now at Andy Sharp's club. That's already 4 on the board, and we played less than 7 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, the officials are going to have to call some of those fouls because there's no way that as good as Erin Lucas is that he's going to just get that close to Jarius Hicklin off the dribble. And the only way he slowed Hicklin down was to arm check him.
Jarius was 7 tonight. Thompson, the inbounds, gets it back, fires a quarter left 3, and he missed it. Wilcox tried to rip the rebound away from Wise. Chris lost it, but the Mule Riders come up with it. Out front is Erin Lucas. Spins, goes right side. Driving to the baseline is Garnett. Now reverses, gets into the paint, trying to dump it down low, and Nigel Wilcox swats it like a shot out of bounds into the Mule Rider bench.
How quick does Wilcox elevate? He sees that pass going outside to the right baseline. He leaps up with the left hand. No chance to complete that pass.
Harrison Stoddard is out. Justin Tinn is in. Jason Aker and his staff have done a really good job in massaging the minutes trying to avoid a fourth foul. Erin Lucas sets the table out front. Devontae Brooks with the ball. Monticello was taking a 5-point lead, 47-42, second half. Driving is Jalen Brooks, who throws it up and in, and get it and one.
Well, Oklahoma Baptist up by 5 with 12:45 to play. Playing good defense. Of course, Jalen Brooks getting to the free throw line.
Nigel with his third personal foul, so everybody on the baseline has at least 3 fouls tonight. And Brooks pays the free throw off. If it is OBU and UAM, and both teams have a long ways yet to get that meeting set in Monticello, the Bison, I know, have one decided advantage, and that is depth against the Bull Weevils.
No doubt about it. And, you know, if you had to go to Sululu off the bench for a post player. Well, that's just not good for all 3 fouls.
Jordan Thompson drives, goes back door up and under, and he lays it in. There you go, playing well beyond his age. Jordan with a big basket makes it 47-42 and a foul at the other end. And Harrison Stoddard and Jaquan Sims are going to help up Erin Lucas.
Sims doesn't know. Lucas dribbled into Sims. Sims had his back turned to Erin Lucas, and they called the blocking foul on Sims.
Team foul number 3 against Oklahoma Baptist, second half. The first of the night against the Covington, Georgia, and transfer from Limestone, Jaquan Sims. Inbounds pass, quarter left, Chris Wash. Down low with a block, Jalen Brooks. Hangs, goes up, shot spun off the rim. Nigel Wilcox with a rebound. OBU had that shot defended well. And up ahead, it's Brantley, drives to the goal, double clutches, misses the layup, and he'll earn him from the line.
Yeah, Wilcox jumped up with 2 hands. He gets so high, his hands are above the square. That is so hard to shoot over. That's why Brooks missed that shot.
Tyler Garnett with his third personal foul. OBU inching closer to the 1-and-1. That's already 5 against Southern Arc here in the second half. Brantley's 2 for the line, has 10 points, had 15 against Washington. Averaging 14.2. He and Harry, the leading scorers of the starting lineup, both over 14 a game. The leading scorer overall, though, is Jarius Hicklin at 16.8.
Nice drive by Brantley Thompson, going hard to the rack with his little in the air, little double, triple pump. Almost made the and one.
Okay, partner, help me here. Put your striped shirt on. They've gone to the monitor to review the play. Are they looking at who the foul was on? They had said it was Garnett. I think they're changing it now to Jalen Brooks. Am I right?
That's exactly what it is. Sometimes officially, you can, when you go to the table, sometimes you can forget who you call. You remember the play, but you're not used to all the numbers sometimes. And some guys a similar build, you might say, hey, number 3 instead, and then they worked it out and they got it correctly on number 5.
After the prolonged wait, Brantley misses off the front rim with the first free throw. He'll get one more. It's up, and it is good. So Thompson is at 3 of 4 at the line. He has 11 points to lead all Bison scores. 48-42, Oklahoma Baptist with just over 12 minutes to play. Noble Complex, side of this Great American Semifinal matchup. Wing right, Tyler Garnett. Between the circles is Ariri. And they throw it away as they threw it right to Jaquan Sims. Sims up ahead, left side. Jordan Thompson is covered up. Back to Quan. Steps into a 3. It rolls off. Nigel Wilcox slams the rebound hard to the floor, and Devontae Brooks has it. They'll clear to the front court as Garnett gets it to Erin Lucas.
That's a good deny by Justin Tinn. Tipped that ball to Jaquan Sims.
48-42, OBU, 11.5 to play, second half. Out high as Garnett swings it left for Erin Lucas. Lucas on the baseline. Ariri now puts up a jumper, missed it off the back rim, and Nigel with another rebound. He's got 8 tonight.
Can Wilcox jump or what? He went so high to pull that down, 2 hands.
Thompson gets into the center of the paint. Now gives it up to Nigel. Nigel's decent. I think it's fair to say he's decent. Thompson being ridden by Erin Lucas. Crosses over, gets into the paint, and a foul. Erin Lucas doesn't like it, but you know what? He could have been called for about 2 fouls guarding Thompson during that series.
No doubt about it. And Thompson smartly, after Lucas stripped his pocket earlier in the contest, he goes strong right at Lucas. Kept the left-handed dribble with his body in between the ball and Lucas.
Timeout on the floor, 11-12 to play second half, 48-42 Oklahoma Baptist. The second half brought to you by OBU alumnus Noble McIntyre and McIntyre Law on the Bison Network.
Yes, Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich. It's just so, it's almost too hard to put into words. Good thing there's the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger.
Attorney Jordan Klinger at McIntyre Law. Recently, the FDA requested manufacturers withdraw ranitidine drugs commonly known as Zantac. Zantac has been found to potentially cause cancer in the bladder, colon, throat, nasal cavity, kidneys, liver, lungs, pancreas, prostate, stomach, and testicular cancer. If you have taken Zantac, you may be entitled to compensation. Call us at 405-917-5200 or visit us online at McIntyreLaw.com. Download our new app today.
For our Southern Arkansas listeners, I have to apologize. I've been calling Tyler Garnett. It's Tyler Garrett. Nonetheless, he has been really good tonight off of the bench. Sims will inbound, bounces into Brantley. Layup, good, and he's fouled.
What a play by Brantley Thompson, sealing off the mule rider so he can receive that pass and then off the glass down inside the semicircle.
I know for a fact Jason Aker doesn't sleep many hours at night. I think he sets up all night long and dreams up inbound plays because this team is as good as anybody you're going to find coming out of timeouts. Thompson misses the free throw, so the lead is 50-42. 11 minutes to play second half. Dodge Brown out there for the first time in the second half. Down low to Devontae Brooks, and he goes right at Stoddard and lays it in. They ought to go Harry every time. He's got 3 fouls.
Yeah, and Devontae Brooks got away with a push-off to get separation from Stoddard there, and nothing Harry could do about it.
10:47 to play second half. Jordan Thompson hands it off left side. Brantley to Jordan, pump fakes. Jordan drives baseline. Lucas cuts him off. They flip it across the floor to Sims. Stutter steps right, trying to get into the paint. Throws it up, missed it, tips it up and in. I don't know how he did it. Jaquan Sims with his third basket.
Sims just used a power move right in, just wasn't going to quit.
Lucas all the way to the goal, misses everything on the way up. Brantley Thompson, one dribble up ahead to Quan. Around the defender, scoops it up, back rimmed it. Rebound tipped a couple of times. Southern Arkansas has it with Tyler Garrett. Garrett will outlet to midcourt for Dodge Brown. 52-44 OBU at the 10-10 mark of the second half. Brown lobs it to Devontae Brooks in the low post. He catches and scores off the window. And Stoddard again right now is somewhat paralyzed to do much defense.
Exactly. Harrison Stoddard did not want to jump with Devontae Brooks with that little turnaround one-handed jumper.
Halfway through the second half, the lead is 6 for OBU. 52-46. Jaquan Sims looking for Brantley. Cuts through the paint, takes a dribble, draws a double, kicks it out. Corner three by Stoddard, no good. Wilcox was going to slam the follow home, and Tyler Garrett probably saved a rim.
Yeah, and there's no way that on the backside rebounding, Tyler Garrett did not block out Wilcox, so Wilcox is going to out-jump everybody. 2 hands, and like you said, he was going in, and then Garrett takes a piece of his arm.
Tyler Garrett with his third personal foul. That's team 8 against Southern Arkansas. OBU only whistled for 3. Wilcox will be in the line for 2. He's missed his last 3, so it's probably a good foul as the first foul shot is up and good. The Bison with that make are now 12 of 18 from the stripe.
Thanks for jinxing Wilcox the other way where he made it.
Yeah, you're right. Jarius Hicklin has come back in. He and Quan, along with Harrison Brantley and Nigel Wilcox at the free throw line, to 5 on the floor for OBU. Second one is up. That one is good. Worked, didn't it?
Oh, and those were big, big free throws to put the Bison back up by 8, especially a guy who's sort of inconsistent. Of course, when it's crunch time, it seems like Wilcox comes through.
Wilcox, a rebound away from his 4th double-double of his first season here at Oklahoma Baptist. He's got 10 points, 9 rebounds. Wing left with a basketball is Iriri. They'll get it to Lucas. Straight on, splash. He hit the 3. Erin Lucas gets it right back, and it's 54-49 with 9:24 to play.
That one was at least 23, 24 feet. I think Hicklin was kind of daring Lucas to shoot that one a little bit.
Sims to Stoddard, slot left. Harrison being pestered by Jalen Brooks, who hacked down and commits the foul. And that is bad news. That's 4 now on Jalen Brooks in the final 1 1/2 coming up for Oklahoma Baptist.
Well, Harrison Stoddard, he's so fundamentally sound. He's holding that ball above his head, and he's got a good grip on it, knowing that Brooks is very aggressive. And the only way that ball came loose, Brick just hit Stoddart's arm that came down.
Stay up to date on the latest in OBU sports by following Oklahoma Baptist University Athletics on Facebook and at OBU_athletics on Twitter and Instagram. Stoddart's foul shot rattles home. Harrison with just his 3rd point tonight. He is 15th in blocks in the nation. His teammate Nigel Wilcox is 8th. OBU as a team has just 2 blocks on the night. They average just under 4, and Harrison gets both. It's now 56-49 with 9:10 to play in regulation. Lucas bounces it left circle. Ayeri cross courts it right side. Dodge. His 3 rolls off. Sims with a rebound. Under 9 to play. Jaquan lobs it to midcourt. It's run down by Hicklin. Gets into the paint. Feeds it to Wilcox. Spins. Goes up. Shot was blocked by Brooks. Wilcox gets it back. Loses the handle. And Devontae comes out of there with another turnover. Lucas up ahead to Ariri. Left side. He'll spin in against Stoddard. Drop steps. Now pivots back left. Shoots high off the glass and scores. He had Harrison Stoddard in a spin cycle.
Yeah, but that's the only way he could have made that shot was a fall-away jumper high off the square because Stoddard was going to block that.
Southern Arkansas up to 41% shooting. They're also within 5 after trailing by 10 both in the first and second halves. Hicklin underneath to a wide-open Nigel Wilcox. He now fumbles it, gets it back, goes up. Brooks blocks the shot. Rebound tipped by Hicklin. It'll go out of bounds into the OBU bench. And that was a great recovery by the Mule Rider defense led by Devontae Brooks. By the time that Jerry has found Nigel, he was initially wide open.
Devontae Brooks has stifled Nigel Wilcox the last 2 trips down low. Brooks is very long, and he gets up quickly. So what happened was Devontae Brooks came out to double on Hicklin. Hicklin recognized that that's Nigel's man, so he dumped it off to Nigel.
56-51, 8:09 to play in the second half from the Noble Complex. Erin Lucas backs his way in against Brantley right side. Dodge Brown, guarded by Hicklin, middle of the floor. Now he calls for a screen from Ariri. Victor pops out right circle, guarded by Stoddard with those 3 fouls. Play clock down to 9. Trickery away Lucas, and he got a 3 right wing. This is why he was the conference player of the year. He didn't look to score much in the first half, but now he's taking over, and it's a 2-point game.
And usually Brantley Thompson really challenges those shots. I guess he's worried about Lucas taking him off the dribble. He kind of just reached out with his left hand.
Brantley Thompson thought about a 3. Now his run off the arc goes straight to the goal. Left-handed layup is good. Brantley with 15. OBU leads at 58-54 with 7.5 to play.
You don't need to shoot a 3 when you go that hard to the basket with the left hand.
Erin Lucas bounces it right side. Garrett with a basketball. Guarded by Trey Green. OBU's gone to a 2-3 zone. Dodge Brown holds it above his head left slot. Ariri with it right side. Gets it to Garrett. Bounces it across the floor to Brown. Pulls up center of the paint. Throws it up off the window. I don't know if that was a pass or what, but it was a terrible decision. And OBU has it. Into the front court, Jarius Hicklin.
Yeah, Dodge Brown got loose. He was open in the paint. I think that was a shot that he just missed way to the left of the rim.
Thompson drives right, sets Hicklin up for 3. No good. It goes over the backboard now to play. And with that miss, OBU is now 3 of 16 from long distance, and we get a timeout. 6:49 to play. It's Oklahoma Baptist 58, Southern Arkansas 54 in the Great American Conference Tournament Men's Semifinals. We're back in a moment on the Bison Radio Network.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A.
A is for above and beyond.
An extra level of care.
A game.
From caring for our guests and our community to cleanliness and safe service with a My Pleasure. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
A little funky dance.
And that too.
Possible to cook up the barbecue bacon burger at home? Well, that depends. Does your home have fresh chopped onions, pickles, smoked cheddar, Monterey Jack, bacon, tangy barbecue sauce, and orange and white stripes with the word Whataburger emblazoned on the front of it? If so, then absolutely. Good thing there's the limited time barbecue bacon burger at Whataburger.
Show your OBU spirit and rep Carib with officially licensed Bison apparel from shopobubison.com. Shopobubison.com is the official online store of OBU Athletics and the only place to buy OBU apparel, accessories, gifts, and more online with purchases benefiting Bison Athletics. Halfway through the second half in Monticello, Henderson State now leads 54-50 in that other semifinal matchup. And if HSU wins, they would be at either Southern Arkansas or OBU Sunday afternoon at 3 for the title game. Garrett jump passes into the front court left side. Ariri for 3, missed it out the front rim. Sims inside rebounding position, pulls it down. Blake Rogers thought he had a rebound.
Sims had 7 rebounds at the half to lead all rebounders, or at least OBU.
Hicklin veers from left to right around the top of the circle. Backs it out, elbow right, cross courts it for Trey. Left quarter for Sims. Jaquan lobs it down low for 10. It was a bad pass. Overthrew him, and it's intercepted by Ariri. Into the front court comes Erin Lucas at a 4-point Bison lead with 6:15 to play in regulation. Blake Rogers open for 3, rattles it home. Trey Green closed, but not in time, and it's a 1-point game. 58-57 with 6:02 to play.
Yeah, and Blake Rogers was 2 for 3 from downtown in the opening half.
All of a sudden, a lot of emotion spilling onto the floor for the Mule Rider bench. Bison need to answer here. Hicklin pulls up left elbow, gets it to Sims, pump fakes, goes right, pulls up, throws it up and in, and he's fouled. Holy Toledo. They're always taught from a young age, if you know there's contact, throw it up and hope something good happens, and it did, and Quan has a chance to get the 3 back.
Yeah, Jaquan Sims being so strong, Iriri fouls him. With the right hand, he just holds up and just a little soft touch follow, one-handed shot on the right side of the lane.
Ariri with his 3rd foul. Nigel Wilcox and Harrison Stoddard are both out there, as now Jarius Hicklin is going to check out. So Quan and Brantley Thompson and Trey Green make up the lineup for OBU. Lucas, Rogers, Garrett, Ariri, and Davis Jr. on the floor. And Sims misses the free throw. OBU has left a lot to be desired of the stripe tonight.
Yeah, a lot of Bison, especially a soft touch shooter like Jaquan Sims.
3-point game, 60-57, 5.5 to play. Wing right, Ariri drives it underneath the basket, and it's batted out of bounds as Thompson and Wilcox were both in the passing lane. Southern Arc to inbound, 13 of the shot clock.
Yeah, Brantley Thompson blocked that pass with his left hand and went out of bounds on the baseline.
Erin Lucas will inbound. And before he does, the official out front says, hold on, as Devontae Brooks now is going to check into the ball game. Update now, 58-54 Monticello, 4:24 to play. Quarter right 3 by Blake. Rogers was in and out, spun out, and the rebound to Trey Green. That's how close SAU was to tie the ball game. 5:20 to play. Left side, Brantley Thompson with a low yo-yo dribble. Dribbles between the legs in front of his head coach. Hands it off down to Jaquan Sims. Working against Lucas. Had it batted free. Sims gets it back. 12 to shoot. Sims drives into the paint. Dribble rocks. Now bounces it down low to Stoddard. Fumbles it. Gets it back and throws it in.
Wow. Jaquan Sims passed up a wide open shot as he juked Erin Lucas in the lane at the bottom of the dotted line, so he bounced past to Harrison Stoddard from the left block. Stoddard turns into the defender and one.
Second foul against Devontae Brooks, the 10th of the second half against Southern Arkansas. It's an and one, though, for Stoddard. Harrison has just 6 tonight, matching a season low for him. Free throws up. Good. He has 7. Stoddard will come out, and they'll give him a rest and preserve the fouls for the stretch run as Justin 10 comes in. With 5:05 to play, OBU stretched it back to a max 2-point lead, or 2-possession game at 63-57. Andy Sharp now is saying something to the official, and I'm not certain what this is about. In fact, they're going to call all 3 officials over at midcourt. You can probably see it on your screen if you're watching the video broadcast. Jason Aker was brought down as well. Both benches are standing. A lot of emotion to this ball game. This has been what we expected, Wandog, that it would be.
Well, this is March Madness, Todd. Outstanding basketball. Teams fighting, really wanting this victory so bad.
Here we go. 5 minutes to play. Lucas brings it to the front court from right to left across your radio dial. Bison 63, Mule Riders 57. Left side, Blake Rogers against the zone. Lobs it right side. Garrett takes a dribble, bounces it right corner to Lucas. Back to Garrett. Now to Erin Lucas, covered up right circle by Brantley Thompson. They lob it down low. Brooks throws it up and in off balance, and he'll get it and one.
Justin 10 just holding his position, hands straight up in the air. Justin 10 saying, what did I do? Got my hands straight up. 4th foul on 10.
Now 10 has his 4th, so just as sure as Stoddard comes out, he comes back in. Jarius Hicklin is going to come in as well, and 10 and Trey Green will exit. And Devontae Brooks, who's 4 of 6 for the line, not normally a great free throw shooter, will go there where he's made 3 straight. A chance to make it a 2-point game, and it's no good. That would have made it a 3-point game. And now a whistle, and I think they're going to say that OBU was in the lane early, so he'll get another opportunity to make the throw.
I think Harrison Stoddard was stepping on the right block as Iri was pointing down at his shoe, and the official called it.
Brooks' free throw rattles home, so that's a big violation. It cuts it to a 3-point game, 63-60. Trip 4 to play, final half. Winner to the championship game, either in Monticello or on their home floor. Hicklin with it out front, being pestered by the league's Defensive Player of the Year, Lucas. To Rogers. Rogers gets it to Brooks into the front court, and he'll hand it off to Blake Rogers. He'll step into a 3, back rims it, no good. Sims with a rebound. That was a quick trigger by Blake Rogers.
It was, and another great rebound by Jaquan Sims because that pesky Erin Lucas was right behind him. Sims grabbed it with his right hand, pulled it to his stomach.
Lucas, 10 points, 9 assists, 5 steals tonight. Sims with it, left wing, 4 minutes to play. Sims being bumped, no whistle, gets it to Hicklin, left corner. Jarris with the right hand, gets deep, pump fakes, throws it up, missed it. And he ends up on the floor, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Finally, there's contact everywhere. You know, Devontae Brooks just hammered Jaquan Sims way out behind the left arc when he doubles, then goes back to guard the post. No call. Devontae Brooks with only 2 fouls in the game.
Brooks with the foul, make that his 3rd. First one by Hicklin is up, and it's good. That makes it a 4-point game. Lucas, Rogers, Garrett, Ariri, and Devontae Brooks on the floor for Southern Arkansas. Jordan Thompson, Sims, Wilcox, Hicklin, and Stoddard for the Bison. And about to check back in with 4 fouls is Justin 10 if Jarius makes this free throw. Hicklin's numbers tonight, 2 of 5 shooting, 8 points. He has 2 rebounds, and he hits both free throws. That makes it a 5-point game, 65-60. 4:01 to play the contest.
Big play by Hicklin because he got hammered so hard. He was still strong with the ball, then made the 2 free throws.
Jerry will go to the bench. They roll it inbounds, and 2 paces behind midcourt. Brooks picks it up. Or Lucas, excuse me. Right side for Garrett. Tyler with it to Ariri. Left side to Rogers. Bounces it left corner for Lucas. 14 to shoot for Southern Ark. Between the circles, Blake Rogers. Out high, right front court. It's Tyler Garrett. Dribbles to the foul line, bounces it down low for Ariri, who goes up, missed it. Brooks gets follow, airballed it, rebound, saved it, bounced by Ariri, left side to Rogers. And a tie-up, and the arrow belongs to OBU.
How is that a tie-up when Nigel Wilcox is holding the ball in his lap and turning around? Great defense. Stoddard and Justin 10 just challenging those shots. Mule Riders had no chance.
Timeout on the floor, 3:27 to play. Second half, Oklahoma Baptist 65, Southern Arkansas 60. 2 red-hot teams. SAU 6-3-9 road games. They've won 4 straight overall, 6 of their last 7. They've never been to a conference tournament title game, and yet they're very much positioned to win here in the Noble Complex, where the Bison are 8-2, and no one other than the name of East Central has won here this year. OBU has won 14 of the last 15, including 4 straight.
Great job by Nigel Wilcox fighting for that ball on the floor. Mule Riders all over him.
Bison basketball brought to you by the First National Bank and Trust Company, P&K Equipment, SSM Health, St. Anthony Hospital, Shawnee, and Tinker Federal Credit Union. Let's pause for station identification. This is Bison basketball on the OBU Radio Network. Todd Miller, Scott Wanish, John Zonlow. If OBU wins, we'll either be here or in Monticello Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. Quick turnaround for all the teams here with the conference tournament. We'll be with you on the radio side. No video if it's a home game provided by OBU because the Great American Conference Network will have that video.
Well, fortunately,
Dog and I will be here.
Well, fortunately, that arrow was going for the Bison, but I didn't think it was a jump ball. That could prove costly late in this game.
You do lose the favor of the arrow with 3:19 to play. Hicklin back out there out of the break. Gets a little rub from Stoddard, brings it across midcourt, 22 to shoot. Jarius guarded by Lucas, takes him off the dribble. Lucas slips, Hicklin fires a long 2, missed at top of the nail, and Brooks with a rebound. Devontae to Erin Lucas with just over 3 minutes to play in regulation. 65-60, Lucas a screen right. Out pops Jalen Brooks for 3, got it. So it was a screen and roll, and Jalen Brooks knocks down the triple with 3 to play. It's a 2-point game, 65-63.
Jalen Brooks has 4 fouls here in this late stretch run.
Jalen Brooks 1 for 3 from 3 tonight. Stoddard with it between the circles. Harrison fumbles it, gets it back as he keeps his dribble. Drives left, throws it up, no. Tipping it up and in, though, is Wilcox. It just slid right, and somehow in the flight of midair was able to get it off the glass and in, and then Southern Arkansas turns it over. An ill-forced mistake, and in fact an unforced mistake by the Mule Riders, could prove costly.
Wilcox wasn't far from the free throw line when Stoddard went left of the lane and tried to throw that up with a defender draped all over him. What timing by Wilcox to put that ball back in.
Be a future shaper at OBU with more than 80 areas of study and 4 master's degrees. OBU offers classes that will transform your life, all taught from a biblical worldview. Visit okbu.edu to apply or find out more. Bison basketball again brought to you by shopobubison.com, your official online store for OBU merchandise and apparel athletics. Don't forget that the First National Bank and Trust Company, our team is committed to serving yours. Visit our Shawnee branch to find out more about our products and services and check us out online at fnbokla.bank. That's the First National Bank and Trust Company, your bank for life, member FDIC. We're in a timeout. 67-63 Oklahoma Baptist with 2:36 to play. Bison will have the basketball. This was a 30-second OBU timeout. They rolled it into a media timeout. So that's where we're at. The final media timeout comes with 2:36 to play in the second half.
Arkansas Monticello leads Henderson State 64-62 with a minute to go.
Tell you what, give it up to Kyle Tolan and Chris Johnson. What a job they have done. They share the Eastern Division Championship. They won the coin flip of the right to host the title game if they could survive HSU. Jimmy Elga's club is awful tough to beat, especially in March, and that would make it 5-0 this year against the Reddies if the Bull Eagles hold on. 15 to shoot, time back in, Sims with it out front to start it right side to Hicklin. Now to Thompson, dribbles it and loses it. Jalen Brooks scoops it up, gets it to Erin Lucas, left front court, being pestered by Brantley. 2:15 to play in regulation. It's a 4-point OBU lead, 67-63. Wing left with the basketball is Ariri. Out front, Jalen Brooks. Lucas bounces it to Devontae Brooks. They kick it out. Open three, Rogers, no good for the top of the circle. Another rebound, Devontae Brooks to Lucas. Throws up a floater, banks it in, and he's fouled.
I think Brantley Thompson got him from behind. That's a ill-advised foul and one.
Second foul against Brantley, the 6th against OBU. It'll be an and one, and this would make it a 1-point game with 1:58 to play here in the second half. 67-65 pending the free throw. It's on the way, and Lucas nothing but net. Lucas has 13 points, and all of those have come here in the second half. OBU better answer here, partner, with $1:50 to go. 67-66.
Yep, crunch time, and OBU's been making all the more plays in the stretch than their opponents.
Hicklin to Sims, lobs it to Stoddard, left circle. Out front to Nigel, one dribble, hands it off. Driving baseline, Sims throws it up, and he's fouled.
That's the only thing the Mule Riders could do. Sims with that pump fake at the right wing, puts it on the floor, beat everybody to the bucket.
Victor Ariri picks up his 4th foul, and so Sims will go to the line for 2. Jaquan has 11 points in the ball game, 5 of the first, 6 of the second half, and now he hits the free throw. You can make the second, it makes it a 3-point game with 1:38 to play. Well, you knew this was going to be a task tonight. Southern Arkansas is a really good basketball team. Second one is good. Sims makes both. And coming into the ball game is going to be Tyler Garrett. And they will take Ariri out with those 4 fouls. 1:38 to play. Lucas will bring it across midcourt from right to left. Aaron hands it off of the wing for Blake Rogers. Now to Jalen Brooks between the center circles. Garrett left baseline. Rogers drives and a foul. And it looked like, I thought they were going to call a travel. Instead, it's on Nigel Wilcox, and it's his 4th.
Wow. And the lead official was standing right there. The C official makes that call, and it looked like he signaled walk, and then he changed it to a foul.
Well, it's big because now that's the 7th against OBU, and Blake Rogers, who has a good free throw shooter at 85% will go to the line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, the reason why I thought that could be a walk, Blake Rogers, as soon as he saw Wilcox on help side defense coming there, he just hesitated, looked like he shoveled his feet.
So the front of the 1-and-1 for Blake Rogers is up and down. One more to cut it down to a 1-point game with 1:25 to play.
2 seconds left. Henderson State has the ball against Monticello. Game tied. Looks like they're going to overtime.
Second free throw by Blake Rogers is good. Time out on the floor with 1:25 to play. In a 1-point game, 69-68. I'll tell you what, I hope this game doesn't go to overtime because of the fouls. Justin 10, Nigel Wilcox, each with 4. Harrison Stoddard somehow has managed to avoid that 4th foul to this point. And everybody else either 2 fouls. Foul trouble for the Mule Riders. Ariri has 4 fouls, as does Jalen Brooks. Devontae Brooks has 3. OBU is in the double bonus. The Bison just put the Mule Riders into the 1-and-1. 69-68. Western Division champion Oklahoma Baptist leading over the 2 seed out of the East, but the co-champions of that division, Southern Arkansas. Mule Riders went 13 and sharing the Eastern Division crown with Arkansas Monticello.
It looks like Erin Lucas is going to be matched up on Jaquan Sims, so they're just going to give the ball to Jarius Hicklin to bring it up. No, it's Hicklin one-on-one with Lucas.
Brantley inbounds to Jarius. Hicklin angles left into the front court with 1:17 to play. Hicklin bounces it to Wilcox, and he throws it away. I don't know that Nigel's the guy you want out that high in this situation.
Yeah, and it was way high, almost by the O on the Bison. And Stoddard was with him on the head of the Bison, and Stoddard cut in, and the ball went to the sideline.
Southern Arkansas could take the lead after trailing by 10 here in the second half with the bucket of this possession. Lucas bangs into Sims, no whistle. Lucas underhands a pass to Blake Rogers out front. 1 minute to play. Spins underneath the foul line and hits a jumper. And Southern Arkansas leads 70-69. A timeout on the floor with 57 seconds to play.
Great move by Blake Rogers. He took Brantley Thompson just inside the free throw line. Almost a 360 spin pivot, pull-up jumper.
13 now for Blake Rogers. Lucas Rogers each with 13. Jalen Brooks with 18. Devontae Brooks with 15 and 15 rebounds. So Devontae Brooks now has his 7th double-double of the year to lead the conference in that category. 4 first-team all-conference performers, 3 of those unanimous in Lucas, Devontae Brooks, and Brantley Thompson. The 4th first-teamer is Jarius Hicklin, and a second-teamer in Harrison Stoddard. Before this year, OBU had only 1 player on the first or second team in their Division II history. And that was Antonio Wade back in the 17-18 season. Bison inbound, under 1 minute to play, 52 seconds to go. Crowd coming to their feet. Bison down a point. Hicklin cut off by Lucas, top of the circle. 20 on the shot clock.
Step there with the right foot. Got past the defender and then draws a foul.
Boy, you could cut the tension of this building with a knife. It is very, very heavy right now. Hicklin's first free throw's up and it's good. Didn't seem to bother him there, did it, partner? Game's tied at 70.
Yeah, the net barely moved. It hit nothing.
Bison with 2 timeouts down the stretch. Southern Arkansas with 1, and Jarius gives OBU back the lead. He's 6 of 6 for the foul line. 71-70 OBU. 41 seconds to play. Lucas across midcourt. Picked up by Jaquan Sims. Bounces right quarter. With the basketball is Garrett, and a foul underneath called against OBU. Is that against Stoddard? Or are they calling it on Hicklin? It's on Jarius Hicklin, and we'll have a 1-and-1 now for the Mule Riders, and that's the 3rd on Jarius.
Wow.
Devontae Brooks was the recipient of that foul. He'll go to the line for a 1-and-1.
Well, I guess the official thought for sure it was a foul because this is just giving free throws right here.
Of everybody on the floor, Devontae Brooks is the one you want there. Sub 58% foul shooter, but he rattles that one home.
Rattles are off the front of the rim, the right of the rim, off the square and in.
35 seconds to play. What that also did was pretty much ensures the Mule Riders are going to get the last shot of this ball game. Brooks for the lead, rattles that one home. Neither one was clean, but both count. 72-71. 33 seconds to play. Hicklin across midcourt. OBU trying to survive the Mule Rider upset tonight. Jarius with 25 seconds to play. Angles left, moves right of a Wilcox screen. then throws it away. Was looking for Nigel, and he threw it right to Blake Rogers. Rogers trying to get away from Brantley Thompson, who finally gets the foul. And that will be the third on Brantley Thompson.
Well,
I will say this, not all hope was lost, because now if Rogers hits both, and he hit a couple of clutch a minute ago, it's a 3-point game, and now you have it for the final 17 and a half seconds.
Yeah, and a three-pointer could tie it if he still makes these two.
Here's the thing. It's a 1-and-1, the final 1-and-1 of the night for Southern Arkansas. Team fouled 9 against OBU, so the way to the 1-and-1 will be on Blake Rogers out of the timeout. It's called by Jason Aker for the other end of the floor.
You got to give it up to Southern Arkansas. They overplay every passing lane, and OBU looking for some back cuts, but there's good help side and then recovery defense by the Mule Riders.
Second half brought to you by OBU alumnus Noble McIntyre and his team of dedicated and effective personal injury attorneys at McIntyre Law. OBU tonight has turned the basketball over 18 times. That's really pretty uncommon for them. They average just a little more than 13 turnovers per ball game.
Yeah, this is the stingiest defense I think we've seen all year. I thought, Southern Nazarene has that great defense to cut off the passing lanes and overplay. But Southern Arkansas is the most physical team we've seen, I think, this year.
Andy Sharp does a terrific job down at Magnolia. He has been a college basketball coach for 16 years. For at Emmanuel and Martin Methodist, both private schools, a combined 7 years, and now he's in his 9th year. Looking for maybe the biggest of his 128 career victories at Southern Arkansas is the Mule Riders' third all-time leading coach in terms of victories. Southern Arkansas 17 and a half seconds away from knocking off what has been a red-hot OBU team and moving to the conference tournament finals for the first time in their program's history. First foul shot is up and good by Blake Rogers. And a special season for Andy Sharp's club, the player and defensive player of the year. That's never happened in men's basketball in the league, and their first conference title of any kind in 31 years. Second one is up, that one is home. Now you're going to have a three. 17 seconds to play. Thompson inbounds to Hickman across midcourt. 12 seconds to play, and now a timeout by Jason Aker that do it for OBU in terms of timeouts. Southern Arkansas 74, Oklahoma Baptist 71. And now they have 14, not 12 up on the shot or on the game clock, so 14.1 seconds remain. Sponsors, Sin Relief, Noble McIntyre of McIntyre Law. And a big thank you to the Emmanuel Baptist Church at OBU College of Graduate Studies for coming aboard for the Bison postseason run. I think OBU is in the NCAA tournament regardless, but because it's a 6-team regional, I'm not certain you can go to bed real comfortable tonight if OBU loses this game. St. Edwards, for one, cannot upset West Texas in the finals of the Lone Star Conference. You know Lubbock Christian is already in. They've already been beaten in their own tournament. OBU entered the week 4th in the South Central region standings. Thompson cross-courts it from left to right for Stoddard. 10 seconds to go. It's an air ball. Saved inbounds by Wilcox to Stoddard. He'll heave a three. No good, and Southern Arkansas upsets.
Wow, what great defense by the Mule Riders. I think that ball might have been tipped. One of the quick step-back three-pointer by Jaquan Sims, and then the heave by Harrison Stoddard in the right corner was just a turnaround jumper off the back of the rim.
Jason Aker and Andy Sharp exchanging pleasantries at midcourt. I know Jason has a lot of respect for Coach Sharp. And the Mule Riders celebrate a huge road win here tonight at Shawnee, a building that very few people come in and win. In fact, tonight is the 39th game in which Jason Aker has coached a OBU men's team in this building. It's only the 8th time the opponent has come in here and won, and the first time the Mule Riders have beaten an Aker coach team in 3 tries here at the Noble. Final score 74-71 Southern Arkansas. Our post-game show is coming up next. The second half has been brought to you by OBU alumnus Noble McIntyre and his team of dedicated and effective personal injury attorneys at McIntyre Law. This is Bison Basketball on the OBU Radio Network.
The OBU Athletic Department would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of Bison basketball. Bank First, Billy Boy Barbecue, Boomerang Diners, Chick-fil-A Shawnee, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, the Dennis Morris State Farm Insurance Agency, Eric's Pharmacy, First National Bank and Trust, First United Bank, Hampton Inn Shawnee, Hudeberg Auto Group, Emmanuel Baptist Church, Lowe's, McIntyre Law, Send Relief, the OBU Graduate College, P&K Equipment, Pinecliff Printers, Qdoba, Rob's Smokehouse, Shawnee Mills, Shawnee Pit Stop, Sherwin-Williams, South Central Industries, SSM Health, St. Anthony Hospital Shawnee, TAC Designs, Tinker Federal Credit Union, The Lunchbox, the UPS Store, Village Tours and Travel, Vision Bank, Walls, and Whataburger.
The Mule Runners advanced for the first time in their Division II history to the Great American Conference Tournament Championship game as they upset 24th ranked and Western Division champion Oklahoma Baptist tonight, 74-71. You knew this was a dangerous opponent coming in. Two first-teamers. They had Jalen Brooks, but I'll tell you, Blake Rogers tonight really hit some big shots, and I thought Tyler Garrett played well off the bench for him as well. It took everybody pulling on both ends of the rope both ways to get the outcome that we got, and it's 74-71 Southern Arkansas.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, those two players for the Mule Riders, but my MVP for the Mule Riders was Devontae Brooks. He was so long inside, 15 rebounds, 17 points, and he was very tough to shoot over, very physical, but all the Mule Riders were physical tonight.
Well, now you have to hope that Henderson State does not win at Arkansas Monticello. And if St. Edwards does not beat West Texas in the Lone Star Conference, the GAC may get 3 teams into the NCAA South Central region. If you're OBU, you don't want Henderson State winning now because the only path they have to the postseason is to win, and they are trailing in overtime with a minute 4 to play at Arkansas Monticello, 75-70. Southern Arkansas 74, Oklahoma Baptist 71. The Mule Riders shoot 50%, 15-30 in the second half. 4 of 12 from 3 after halftime. For the ball game, Southern Ark 42%, 25 of 59. They were 7 of 22 from 3 and 17 of 21 for the foul line. Very good foul shooting, and a lot of those were very, very clutch. OBU shoots just 37% for the floor in the second half, 0 of 10 from 3 after halftime, and 23 of 50 for the ball game for 46%. The Bison were a dreadful 3 of 18 for 17% tonight from three-point range. And at the stripe, OBU got there 29 times, made 22. Rebounds, OBU out-rebounds a very good team in that category in Southern Arkansas, 36-32. Southern Arkansas with one more offensive carom, 8-7. Turnovers 14 for the Mule Riders and 18 for OBU. Southern Arkansas had a huge advantage in points off turnovers, 21-9. As they win tonight by 3 here at the Noble Complex. OBU had 27 assists on Wednesday night. Jason Akers said that would not happen tonight. They only had 12 on 23 made baskets, 16 assists on 25 made field goals tonight for the Mule Riders. The Bison had 3 blocks in the ball game. Southern Arkansas had 2, 13 steals for the Mule Riders to 7 for Oklahoma Baptist, and against 74-71 is the final score. Points in the paint, 36-34 Oklahoma Baptist. Second chance points, 8-6 OBU. Fast break points, 11-9, and bench scoring, big advantage for OBU, 21-6. Biggest lead, Southern Arkansas led by 3 with 18:33 to play in the first half at 5-2, and they finished with a 3-point victory at 74-71. OBU led by 10 in the first half and 10 in the second half as well, and they fall, though, 74-71 tonight. Biggest scoring run, each team had an 8-point spread, both coming to the first half. Southern Arkansas is coming with 3:14 to go before halftime, and the 6-6 mark. So that was Bison lose by 3, a game that they led for over 36, nearly 37 minutes of the contest. Saw tonight led for just a minute 16, and the Mule Riders escape with a hard-fought 74. Up here in the Crow's Nest, and we'll get the thoughts from the third-year Bison head coach. And I can't imagine how tough that must have been going to the locker room and having to look those young men in the face, because they laid it all out of the line tonight for you, but just came up a little short.
Heartbroken, Todd. Heartbroken for our guys, our staff, OBU. I thought we were the tougher team. One session game. What we talked about after was, if we can thank the Lord for the regular season championship, if we can thank the Lord for all the close wins, we can certainly deal with the bad. We thank the Lord. There's so many plays running through my head right now, but miracle that was not our last game. We'll punch our ticket to the NCAA tournament.
Coach, free throws tonight. I mean, in close games, those things, I know that's just a small part of this contest, but you missed some huge free throws at the most opportune times, and that's just one of many things you can look back at a three-point game.
Both teams were playing really hard. 18 from 3.
Yeah. 0 of 10 to the second half.
Southern Ark is a tremendously talented team, super well coached. Love what they're about. They're tough. I thought we matched their toughness. I thought that they, there's a couple plays, obviously, as the coach that I wish that I had back. All the COVID stuff, that our guys get that dream fulfilled, and we punch our ticket and we actually get to play in the game. So, but couldn't be more prouder to be the coach at OBU, coach our young men. But we're heartbroken, man. I
can't imagine. So, how do you feel right now about the NCAA tournament? Is that something you think you've done enough probably to get in? I mean, barring an upset, I know St. Edwards right now is going to play West Texas in the championship game.
Yeah, if St. Ed's beats West Texas, then that our road a little harder, but everyone's told us that we're in, barring lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle would have been Southern Ark, Monticello, OBU. Take those out if someone in the GAC would have won the tournament, which did not happen. Henderson didn't win, I was told. And then if St. Ed's were to lightning in the bottle win the Lone Star, because they're not in the top 6 now, that would make it tough for the committee. But we won 13 or 14 of our last 15. We won the regular season championship. And so selfishly, as the OBU coach, I'm hoping that lightning doesn't strike twice in 2 years where we don't get to play in that tournament.
Well, we're going to have good thoughts, Jason. I appreciate you coming up here. I'll let you go. I know it's a tough night for you.
Todd, appreciate, hopefully this is not the last, but
it won't be.
Appreciate you, appreciate all the people listening. We have such a great group of young men that represented us with success, with excellence, and with class tonight, and so they're a great bunch.
All right, Jason Aker visiting with us here on the post-game show. Oklahoma Baptist again falls by a final count of 74-71. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the individual numbers in a moment. This is Bison Basketball on the OBU Radio Network.